Hello, Nope, not this one. Wait. Now, hello everybody, hello and welcome. It is lovely to see you all. You are here joining us for episode 2 of season 6 of The Gamblers, our Traveler Pirates of Drinax campaign. And I hope all of you are doing well and having a lovely time and, enjoying yourselves. I am very excited to find out what happens tonight. I have printed out a number of really important charts and tables just in case. Oh, I should pull up that other one chart and table just in case. I'm sure there's no, I'm sure it's fine. Anyhow, hi. Thank you for being here. Without you being here, we couldn't do what we're doing, so thank you. If you would like to support us and help us out, you can let other people know that we are live at the moment so they can come in and see what kind of shenanigans we are up to. You can reskeet our Bluesky skeet. You can just let your friends know. That's the big thing you can do. Hey, friends. Also your enemies. Just tell everybody.
Tell your enemies that we're here.
Yeah, just everybody should know. You can also, I need to mute this. Boop. You can also just, put out a billboard if you like. You can also give us tips and bits. All of that will go to help pay for the cast and any kind of art commissions we've got going on. Because we're going to get some new art descriptions from the players and get some new art commissioned. It'll be very exciting. And let me see, what else? Oh, we have a Patreon. And you can join our Patreon. It goes to help pay for the cast and any kind of art commissions or that sort of thing. And then we have a special $200 tier, and the $200 tier will pay for 4 players, which is our players, they're this direction, right? Our 4 players for 1 week for one show. And we have 4 slots only for that. And if you are in that slot, you get to then have, you get a special radio ad, and you get a special shout out and a special spot in the credits. And we do have one sponsor, and that is Willen. And Willen I have known Willen since the old Geek Space TV days, and Willen takes notes for us, and those notes have been invaluable to make sure I don't die as a GM, and just amazing. Love him. So thank you, Willen. Thank you. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to just do a first start off. We're going to have each of the players just say who they are and who they're playing. I'm not going to ask them a question because after they do that, then we're going to do a different thing. So let's start off with Ari. Ari, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I'm Ari, Aria_Ventures, and I am playing Terrica, a pilot first, and happens to be genetically engineered-ish something. I don't know. Basically, there was a lot of weird eugenics things going on with them. So they're noble, but they don't particularly like it.
Okay, don't take my backstory, okay?
I'm so sorry. Well, no, you have a different backstory. Yours is very different, my friend.
What is it? So I don't have to say it.
Would you like... clone.
Thank you. And that's me, everyone. And now I don't have to go. Thank you.
No, we're going to go to you right now, as a matter of fact. Oh, so,
everybody, I'm Cord, and what Terrica said. What Ari said. Terrica's character. That's it. That was it. Thank you so much, Ari.
Anytime. I would like to amend what I said, though, and add in the fact that he has accumulated a lot of titles, both through acts that he has done and through his own self-proclaimed claiming of said title.
Thank you. So cool.
Anytime, buddy.
Thank you. It was way more than I thought it was. Oh, and we're still going.
Well, I mean, technically, they're related, right?
True,
I can keep going.
Please. I mean, I like it. Anyway, that's me.
They are related. And let's go to somebody who was sort of related, but then stopped being related because it was a sham marriage, not a real marriage. Greg, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. My name is Greg. I'm Warp Reactor over on YouTube, and tonight I'll be playing Dr. Valentine Morrissey, because I state that tonight I'll be playing him because I don't know if I'll be playing him next Friday. We'll see.
Come on.
Oh, well, it's looking great.
With that attitude. Oh, don't you worry. We've got everything already in motion. And I was about to say planned, but we don't have anything planned. But things are in motion.
Terrica has plans.
Good. Okay, that's one of us. One of us has plans.
Somebody who also had plans, but those plans have decided, have changed. Laugh Love Lindy. Laugh Love Lindy. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hello, 'tis I, Laugh Love Lindy, and I always have plans. But I will be playing Quint Vesper tonight. Someone who is maybe not thrilled at this exact moment in time, but it's, I'd say it's gonna be fine, but I really don't think it is. So, we'll see what happens.
And I am Trooper SJP, and I am not at all, but in a very subtle way, just finishing up a little map situation for us. A combat map. Not that we would need one, as far as I know, for any reason, but just in case, just in case that is a thing that we might need. And I'm your GM for today, and I am very excited to be here. So let's talk for a brief moment about where we are in the game, so that then, I can ask them some questions. So, when last we left off, our protagonists.
Right.
Dr. Valentine Morrissey assaulted the Admiral of the Navy, Lord Rax, in a way to get him arrested and removed from the rest of the group, and then revealed the truth that the marriage was a sham, and therefore neither he nor his father are nobles. And that led to Lord Rax very, very, very quickly changing some plans and extraditing Val and his father to Asim, which is legally where they would be tried as not nobles. And doing so without telling anybody, so that no one could try to stop this extradition from happening. And also left his ancestral sword, rapier, in the possession. He swapped swords with one of the guards. And
Cross swords.
And then they're
He touched
off on the ship on their way out. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew, we're going to go and meet the princess and the king. There was a lot of business to take care of, but in the process of that business, there were some questions about, can we get Val released? And Lord Rax is being a little bit cagey. And then there's like, what's going on here? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody, probably Lord Rax, told the ombudsman, like the ambassador from Asim, that Rudolph Rucker was arrested. And then he burst into the throne room and he got all upset, and he's like, how come nobody told me this earlier? He is a citizen of Asim, and so therefore I should be involved, and he needs to be extradited. There's a whole bunch of business. And then some people threw some other people under the bus and also egged on some bus throwings. And it turns out that it came out that Lord Rax had our dear Rudolph and Val extradited on a ship some hours ago. And that sort of got turned into like a terrible situation, and lying to the king and treason. And then due to some encouragement, Lord Rax was stripped of his title as the Admiral of the Navy. Yeah. And that was very convenient for the princess, who's like, great, I get to now pick who's going to be the next Admiral of the Navy. And he did not throw anybody else under the bus. So it just looks like that he was trying to undermine the throne and got kicked out of his position. And that was pretty not great for him, but very good for the princess. Then despite the fact that it is now open and in court, and everybody knows that Val and Ruby are Asim citizens and need to be tried on Asim, Terrica and crew decided to jump onto the Gambler immediately and try to chase down this ship that has Val on it, to try to get to them before they can jump out of system. Severence was given the Admiral's sort of pin of office for the moment, so that he might...
For the moment.
Well, you'll have to get a different one. Like, this is the Admiral of the Royal Naval Fleet. You need to get a different pin when you actually go through your investiture. They have one for you. They have a different one for you, a more appropriate one for you. But they gave you this one at the moment so that you have some authority. As the crew rushes off to try to get to the jump point before this ship can. Now, the problem is that ship is actually faster than they thought it was and has a head start. So there wasn't going to be any way for them to catch this ship without possible damage to the ship. And Terrica left the pilot seat, went into the engineering area, and started overclocking that engine. And as the crew, I mean, it was close. But the ship has gotten within sensor range of the Florian Answer, which is the ship that Val and Ruby are on, as the ship is nearing the jump point. So we are going to sort of open up at this moment where it is close. Before we go any further, however, before we actually open up on this moment, I would like to give the players the opportunity to ask me a few questions. I just want to throw out a couple of things. Drinax, as a planet, has a law level of A. You know how, like, Tick-Tick had a law level of, like, nothing, so you could have, like, a nuclear weapon if you wanted to. Drinax has a law level of A, which is very restrictive, and they don't take the breaking of laws kindly. Personal weapons and armor is basically illegal, although if you're a noble, you have a way around that, although you have to peace bond it and you have to swear on your honor that you're not going to do anything ridiculous. But generally speaking, you just can't have weapons running around. They're very into their laws. And we are in a situation where 2 citizens of Asim are being shipped to their home planet for trial. And because that is the law. And the Gambler is on its way to intervene or disrupt the law, I believe. So, before we open up the curtains, I would just love to ask if you all have any questions for me before we go any further about, the legal situation there, what's happening. Oh, and also, I just want to say one side note, because I've been doing way too much research in the last couple of days, staying up way too late, getting some stuff done because I was so excited about it. It has to do with, like, the divination deck and all sorts of other things. Lots of new cool stuff. One thing I discovered, very cool, and I feel like some people will find this really neat. Drinax is tidal locked. The planet itself is locked, so it doesn't actually rotate. It rotates around the star, but it doesn't itself rotate, which means one half of the planet is always in the sun, and the other half of the planet is always in shadow. There's a twilight band on, like, right in the center. But I just thought you would find that very fascinating. And also, it has only a 48-day year. Which...
Is that tidal locked or solar locked? Tidal locked would be the moon.
Yeah, no, it's solar locked, right? So it's
Solar
basically...
locked. Because
it's solar locked.
Spellwind, my world and Hearth is solar locked. That's the only reason.
Oh.
And I was like,
exciting.
This sounds super familiar. Anyway,
yes, it is.
So that's
it
super
is
cool.
solar locked.
Right.
And I just thought you would love to know that because...
yes.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, good
Super
to know.
cool. So there's a temperate
And it
band
also-
around the center of it. So like the equator is the most temperate
Yes.
spot. Oh, weird, crazy,
Yeah.
huh? It's crazy how I know that, right?
Yes.
Cool. That's really
Love
cool.
that.
All
And
right.
I just thought you'd like to know that. But that's it. Let me get back to
You're
the
right.
legal situation that you find yourself in before we get to the spot where we unpause our curtains. Do you all have any questions for me about, laws, legal ramifications, et cetera, et cetera? Because your characters know quite a few things. Not Quint, because Quint's not from here, but other people know some things. But Quint knows stuff.
I don't think so.
Oh, go for it.
I just had a quick
wait.
question, but you go ahead first because your thought is more progressed than mine.
So I'm wondering, part of the question at one point in time had been that yes, this is a person that if he's not noble, he should go to a seam, but also this was something that happened to Drinaxian nobles on Drinax, and et cetera, and it was a threat to Drinax specifically. So I think my question is really around like, I thought the matter was unsettled when it came to whether or not he needed to. Like, there's definitely a seam saying he needs to be here, but I thought there was an argument for it happening on Drinax too. Am I mistaken?
Well, now that they're not nobles, that argument is much harder to make. And even if you make it, there will be people who will have reason to be upset and perhaps use this for propaganda purposes.
Are there any implications on delay to delivery to a seam?
Delay? No, but stopping the transport is going to look bad. Because if it gets out, which the ombudsman has been alerted by Lord Rax on purpose in order to stop people from stopping this, to make it a problem if people did try to stop it. So, Lord Rax made a move to make it difficult to stop this transport without it being an interstellar problem. That said, so that's a bit of the situation, because neither of them are noble now. Their nobles should be alerted. At a bare minimum, their nobles should be alerted and present. Like, if there were a trial on Drinax, which again is going to upset a bunch of people, a planet that was only liberated 20 years ago and still has like fringe elements on the planet, their nobles should at the very minimum be present for any trial here, because it's a form of like depending on how you want to look at it, it's a form of legal protection, right? That nobody can have some noble from somewhere else coming in and like messing with the people of that noble's planet, just because they feel like it. If some noble's like, I'm going to mess with the peasants, and you're like, oh, no, hold on now, right? Like, the person who's the administrator for that planet has to be alerted, has to have a say, right? And really, people who are not in that jurisdiction shouldn't just be able to go and do things to them. It was made originally as a way to sort of protect non-nobles from outside influence. That said, there is a case to be made that his crimes are, because they're against floating palace citizens of such a rank, that they should be tried. Well, at least Ruby, Val, Iffy, should be tried on the floating palace, but it is now no longer as easy as it was. When they were nobles, because y'all were married, that was an easy one, right? You're like, well, people might be upset about it, but it's not gonna, what's the word? It's easy to refute, right? If somebody's all upset about it, you're like, yeah, but they're nobles, right? And there's not much people can argue about that legally. So even if people are salty about it, far more people in a seam would recognize the legalities and why it was done the way it was, and would be less likely to be swayed by radicals. Now, it's dicey. Now it's dicey. Because now they can make a case that is legally viable. And so going against that case will empower radicals on a seam who want to go back to the old system. Yeah, that is. Now, I will note, if the ombudsman of Asim had not been told about this, then this wouldn't be as much of a problem because you could lie about it and you could hide it, right? But Lord Rax was trying to do a solid for Val and make sure Val could get doing what he wanted to do, and he figured that was the only way to do it. So this means that it is a bit more difficult.
I snuck 2 questions in there, Greg, so over to you, Matt, buddy.
My only question was this. I had written down that Val isn't technically charged with any crime. He's just been expelled from the floating palace. Is that correct?
No, he's been charged with assault.
Oh, well, assault.
But most likely there's going to have also be like a situation about like fraud. Like I'm sure charges can be added or not depending on how things go, right? Like that's like there are possibilities for charges, but none of them probably would be the equivalent of treason or murder. There'd be low-level assault, perhaps like misrepresentation. If Now, also, Lord Rax let Terrica know about the lie because Terrica did not know about the lie, according to Val. So if Terrica were terribly offended and upset, Terrica could probably make charges that were a bit like heavier, which I doubt will happen, but you know, could do, right? Because Terrica's the one who has been harmed by the fraud. So if Terrica wanted to make those charges, Terrica could. Lord Rax is the one who's been harmed by the assault. So, and Lord Rax did make those charges in order to get Val put on a transport out.
So you're saying that if Terrica claimed like noble privilege and wanted to have Val tried for the crimes committed against them, then they might potentially be able to reclaim me for trial or in.
They'd have to do the trial on a seam. They could do it, but the trial would have to happen on a seam, and this is specifically why the trial would have to happen on a seam, because what they don't want legally, historically, right, is for some noble to be like, that peasant did something to upset me, and then have some kind of trial on some planet that peasant is not from, without anybody from their home planet being able to do anything about it. So if they wanted to press charges, this would have to happen on a seam, in order to protect Val from nobles who are not involved.
Isn't that what happened to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern?
Yes.
Okay, I was just checking. Like they really needed that type of protection. They didn't.
Yes, they did.
That was not in place for them. Right? Okay.
That is correct. If Rosencrantz and Guildenstern had this protection, they would have been fine, right? But unfortunately, that was not the case. So this is what that is, right? So it is a moment where Lord Rax pressed the charges in order to get Val extradited to a seam. The trial will not be able to take place on a seam until Lord Rax gets there, of course, to actually press the charges. If he doesn't arrive, then the project will probably be dropped, right? It's one of those situations. Yes. Any other questions?
Legal questions?
Sure, or other questions.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
They'll probably show up.
Excellent.
In situ.
Mm-hmm. And now, Anageek asked, would the charges against Val be invalidated since Rax was stripped of his title? At this moment, Rax was stripped of his position as the admiral of the fleet, but not of his title as a noble yet. because that would require a trial. Lord Rax will probably have to go on trial for treason. And then at that point in time, he could have his entire nobility stripped from him completely. But the king can just take you out of your position as admiral of the fleet immediately without a trial if he so desires, because he appoints and he takes people out. So at the
Executive
moment-
orders.
Yeah, by executive orders, yeah. So Lord Rax is currently still a noble, but no longer the admiral. And how long he will be a noble is a good question. There will probably have to be a trial for that. For treason against the crown. Great. Any other questions before I start?
I don't think so. We are
Great.
approaching, correct?
Yes. So, in this case, I'm going to try to sort of like do a secret vamp because I want to do this thing on the side for dramatic reasons, but
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
I know. So, when we last left off, we're going to be doing a bit of a thing. I'm going to take you all to a page. Where did I put you? Oh, sadly for me, this page is not Florian Answer. Okay.
Flancer.
Let me take you to this page, and then everyone can see it. Here we go. So, I also have more things to show you later, but you know,
We're on the Gambler, right? Just so I remember where we are.
Yes.
We're not on the Camel
You are
Viper,
on
we're
the Gambler.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So here
Cool.
is the ship that you are chasing down. It is a Belaine Frontier transport called the Florian Answer. And the Belaine Frontier transport is a very old Sindalian model. It used to actually have more full wings, but that was centuries and centuries ago as a type. This is like a 300 D-ton ship. It's got turrets. It's a jump one ship. One of the problems Drinax has had is they just haven't had any jump two ships. They had one. Terrica had that one. It got destroyed. It got taken. Which left Drinax with 0 jump one ships. Jump two ships, which means they could not actually leave their little map area. I can actually take you there to show
Until
you this.
now.
Until now, as a matter of fact, because now you have, let me take you to the Trojan Reaches, just so you can see it. Whoop, wrong
Treaches.
one. Whoop, the Treaches. So here is our map of the world, and you have the Gambler that's right there on Drinax. And if you notice, if you have a jump one drive, you can get from Drinax to Asim to what is now called Kusai, which was called something different before and was part of the Drinaxian kingdom, to Porn, to Hilfer, to Pal, to Sink. You can hit this area, right, from here to like here and here, but that's all you can hit. If you don't have jump 2, you can't actually get to the rest of the system. And Drinax lost all of its jump 2 ships with the war. It had one left that was part of Lord Terrica's family, because they were like a trading family. They had this one ship. It was the only jump 2 ship at all on Drinax, and they gave it to Terrica. Terrica, Rudolph Rucker sold out Terrica and got that ship taken by Aslan and all the crew. So Drinax has been without jump 2 ships, which means they're really stuck because nobody goes to Drinax. There's no reason to go there, except for Rachando, who's the merchant who will sell Drinax things like batteries, food, water, things they might need. Well, food and water they're getting from Asim now, but we'll sell Drinax stuff at unbelievably gouging prices. Gouging prices like whoa. This is until they found the Gambler at the beginning of this year. And the Gambler is now the only jump 2 ship. Yeah.
/ like point of order sort of thing. Asim is gouging prices to Drinax.
Rachando.
Where's that?
Rachondo is a guy that's on the. He has a market on the floating palace.
He's a person, not a planet. Okay.
He's a person. He's like a trader who has showed up on Drinax and set up a market.
Okay.
And he is like, wow, you need fuel cells. How about you give me that priceless family heirloom, and then I will give you fuel cells. So he is, he is,
Okay.
Rich Hondo, Rachondo. He is
Rich Honda.
like an
You might know him
independent
as
trader.
middle class Hondo, right?
Middle class
Yeah,
Hondo,
exactly.
yeah. You know, he's an independent trader that gouges the planet for the kind of materials that you all can't get, and has been doing so for quite some time. There are 1 or 2 trading ships that tend to come through Drinax. Very few do, though, because again, Drinax doesn't have anything, so people don't tend to come here. There are a couple, like there's like a Varger trader who comes through quite often. Is a thing that happens. So, and you know, there are a couple people that are here, but generally speaking, people don't come to trade here very often. So Drinax is in a really bad way because they don't get money. Because you have given Drinax money through your piracy, they've been able to use that money to actually buy things like medicine, fuel cells without, like from Rachondo, actually. But they're able to actually get stuff, and they're hoping to get more money from you all so they can actually start doing things. But this here, the Florian Answer, is a 1-jump ship that, where did I put you? Deck plans. That is a 1-jump ship that can make the jump between Asim. It is one of the ships that makes the jump between Asim and Drinax. It's a Drinaxian ship, and it's one of the main ships that brings food. Right, like it like goes from Drinax to Asim, picks up food, brings it back to Drinax. Right, so this is like one of the main ways people go back and forth between Asim and Drinax, where the food is, and this is also the ship that Ruby had come in on, because again, not many ships come through Drinax. Right, so this is like one of the main ways in that food gets from Asim to Drinax, and you are on your way out from there. Next thing to note, this ship, it's got, it's a jump 1 ship, 300 D-tons. It has no low berths. It has 12 standard staterooms, but no low berths. Normally, when you have prisoners, you put them in low berth. You put them in low berth right away, because having prisoners awake and out and about is not great, because then they could do shenanigans. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And nobody wants that. Nobody wants prisoners doing shenanigans. However, this ship does not have any low berths, so our 2 prisoners are awake and hopefully not causing any shenanigans. On the ship, you have a pilot and astrogator, an engineer, you've got 2 gunners, and you've got 1 trader. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6 people who are the crew of the Florian Answer. You also have a team of 5 dragon, you know, our Star Guard Dragoneers, right? Our dragon rocket people. So you've got 5 armed and armored guards who are guarding these 2 prisoners. For the flight out, it's about like 10 hours. And for the bulk of the flight, the 2 prisoners have been locked in separate staterooms, because there's no need, right, to have these people out and about or even talking to each other or interacting. However, as they're getting towards the jump line, it has been a while. It's time to give people food. And one of the things is that the crew wants to get these 2 prisoners fed. And settled before, and then locked back into their staterooms before they go into jump space, because that moment of going to jump space, a lot of things could go wrong. It's kind of like a very tense moment going into jump, and you kind of don't want your prisoners needing anything in that moment. So we have our prisoners sort of taken out of their staterooms and sort of put in the sort of the main area to be given food. And this is about when we're going to converge. But let me take us to the combat map. Not that we need it.
Okay.
We're going to be going back and forth between a couple different maps just today. Probably.
Up close combat? Gross.
Maybe not. Maybe there'll be no up close combat. I don't know. Why would I even know? It's probably not even. Let's move this opacity.
Not all of us have a monofilament holographic axe in our hand.
No, some people are completely unarmed and unarmored because they're prisoners.
That's right.
So, on our map, you have up here the bridge, and then this here area here is basically the break room where people are going to eat. So it is in here where we have Ruby and Val and the 5 guards who are going to be watching as our 2 prisoners are going to be having their meal. Probably not their last meal, one hopes, but you know, their meal, I guess, is the yes. So we've got these 5 armed and armored Star Guard Rocketeers, and we have Ruby, and we have Val. I'm gonna just pull Val over here, because we have Val. I know that I have Sue, but I don't think. I think I've got to grab him from over here, though. Sue. There we go.
Wait, Sue.
This is not.
In
This is
2
actually
places?
Rudolph. No, this is
Oh,
actually
okay.
Ruby, but I don't have a Ruby token, so we'll just use Sue. And we will also have then, 5 guards. And this is where we have you being at this moment. I'm also going to see if I can get this timer up, because this timer is going to be important. Let's see what we can do here. Wait. Yes. So as you're there, no weapons, sitting at these tables with these guards watching you. The sort of the trader, purser, steward of the ship comes in and puts these sort of plates of food, like on a tray, in front of each one of you, and looks, places them down, and sort of steps away, because the trader, it's a little awkward, right? Because he probably was speaking to Ruby on the way over, but is currently, things have clearly changed. And Ruby is sitting with the food in front of him in a way that is, he's very calm. For most people who don't know him very well would think of him as being a very calm, in a calm sort of just sort of sitting quietly. But Val knows him, and Val knows that kind of little twitch on his nostril, and Val knows that he is very angry. I should also note one last thing, that one of the guards, the captain of this little guard unit, is wearing the rapier that Lord Rax pointed out to you. Lord Rax's rapier. Just sort of loose on his sword belt. And is closer to Val's side of the table than Ruby's side of the table. And if you don't mind, I just want to grab one thing. Let me copy this and let me make a I want to put this in a let me paste it. What I need to do right now is make a timer for us, because there's a thing about Traveler which I find super awesome, and that is, in space combat, a turn is 6 minutes. And I thought it might be important to know when 6 minutes have passed or when they haven't passed. So I'm going to just make very quickly a 6-minute timer so that we know when the next turn has happened. If you will give me 1 second so that I can just do this right here.
Go right ahead, my friend. I'm still figuring out what the hell I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I've only had a couple months, but apparently it's now or never, as I haven't made any decisions.
Yeah. So let me
You
just
play
grab
like
that
I do.
right there.
I know.
Let me
Planning.
close that.
Who does that?
Nobody. Why would anybody do that? And I believe...
Lindy, you do not plan. Stop it.
I mean,
I'm
maybe.
joking.
Okay. I believe that should probably do it. We will see. Let me yeah, I think that'll do it. So 6 minutes. He looks at you, sort of angry. But nobody else in the room would be able to tell. But he's watching you, waiting for you to eat.
What do we have to eat?
Oh, it's not the best. It's sort of like it's like a general kind of like a protein oatmeal with some strips of bacon and some dry bread. It's high protein, pretty good fiber. It'll keep you sated for a while.
Then Val will, if it smells good enough, Val will have several
Yeah.
bites of it. And he will turn to one of the guards and say, hey, my compliments to the chef. This tastes wonderful. It tastes of comeuppance.
It tastes of a seam. This is clearly a seam food. This was brought from a seam. And the guards, they look at you. The captain just sort of like stands sort of nearby. And the other guards sort of cock their head because they're not quite certain what that means. And one of the guards, who's not the captain, who isn't particularly read into what's going on, says, comeuppance?
A hint of it.
And they sort of look at each other. Well, you shouldn't...
You might not taste it. It's a native thing. It'll get much stronger when we get to a seam. That comeuppance.
And Ruby looks at you and he says, well, I'm quite certain that my innocence will be proven. Dr. Morrissey, how come you did not visit me while I was unjustly being held in these gravity cages?
Oh, I tried.
Did you?
I surely did.
You know, Dr. Morrissey, I was
He
told...
takes a big bite right when he looks up again.
And Ruby's not eating, and you know it's because he's got a thing. Like, you know him. It's not that he's not eating because he's poisoned you. He's not eating because he has a whole thing about feeding people, right? And like being a provider. And like, there's a whole thing with him about like, because he controls food, right? That like, him not eating says that he doesn't feel good about the situation, basically. If he were feeling good about this situation, he'd be eating. But he's not eating. Like, him eating in front of people is often a way that he uses to show that he's better than them. He has more power, more
Flex,
control. Like,
yeah.
It's a flex. And he's not currently eating.
Well, to put it into perspective, that is what Val is doing to him.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening, and he knows it, right? So he's just like, He says, when those guards came into my quarters, they found, after you had gone, snuck out, they found all sorts of planted evidence in my quarters, and I can't help but think that the only person who could have done that was you.
What an ugly thing to say.
It is. Why would you plant evidence of things I did not do in my room?
I believe the simple answer is I didn't. And he takes a bite.
And like, Ruby like takes the fork and sort of pushes the food around a little bit. And you can see he's contemplating if he wants to eat something.
Not hungry?
But he doesn't. No, I like to be on an empty stomach just in case I need to move quickly.
Those days are long past, aren't they?
I'm still stronger than you, boy.
Prove it.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Not really, but I just don't believe anything you say.
You see, we're going back to my home for whatever's going to happen.
Sure.
And I'm pretty confident that my innocence will be proven in court. Yours, I'm not so certain of.
Anything can happen.
You know what is the greatest crime someone can commit?
I've got my theories, but I'm sure you've got a specific answer, so have at it.
Betraying their father.
Okay.
I don't like your attitude right now. It's a bit too cocky.
If only you were the man you were 10 years ago, you could do something about it.
Oh, Valentine. I have many ways to do things about things that displease me, as you well know. And you should be very afraid. You should be very afraid right now. And one of the guards thumps on the table, says, "Hey, no threatening anyone here."
Thank you, my good man.
That's the end of that turn. Let's have everybody back. And let's head out. Where are we? Right over here. So, my friends, the gambler has just gotten the Florian answer on their sensors. And why don't we find out what our encounter distance is? Just, you know. I see. All right. I need a luck roll from the person with the worst luck
Hey! All right.
on the gambler.
Okay, I'm just gonna look just in case it's me. It's probably me.
It is you.
Thank you.
We say with love, but
No, it's likely
We
me.
say
I think I've,
factually.
yeah, it's through. Or three. Through. It's
Yeah.
through, I think. It's three, I think. Where the hell
Difficulty
is my
8. Luck is on the prime sheet below
time?
the
Thank
stats.
you.
Yeah, it's in a
Aha!
good spot.
Yes.
There
There I go. I'm rolling.
Mm-hmm.
The average is 8.
Okay.
I rolled a
You
7.
rolled a 7. The difficulty
So close.
was
I know.
an 8. You fail it by 1. Would you like to do anything about that?
I don't know what it's for.
This is about
It's for the plot.
distances.
I will
No,
do.
no, no. It's about distances.
I'll do one. I'll add a luck to it.
Okay.
So it passes, which means I have 2 left.
It does pass. Now, although actually, a 3 gives you a -1, is that so? Oh, nice. I thought you'd have
Yeah, you rolled really well.
You rolled really, really well. Okay.
Thank you.
So, what this was for was to find out how close you are when you discover them. I found them over on long range, but if you'd failed it, you would have been pushed back out even farther. But luckily
Cool.
for you, you are not that far out. We're going to do this one more time, though.
We didn't find them on scans.
You have found them on scans.
We found them through psychic stuff. Didn't I?
Both.
Okay.
And then you got them on this. On the
Oh, right. I sensed it, and then sensors picked up.
Yeah. Now I need one more roll, which I'm going to do again. This is the next encounter distance.
Oh, wow, that is much closer than I was expecting.
So that's because I rolled very badly, by the way. Very, very badly. Let's see. This is to determine how close the Florian answer is to the jump point.
Is the jump point the center?
No, the jump point is long, which is also the same space where you're at. So the jump point is going to be right here. If they get to that jump point, they can jump.
What is this?
That's them. That's
That
where
is,
they
what
are.
is then what is this?
This is your distance to them and their distance to the jump point. So you are basically equidistant between. They are
here.
right in between you and the jump point.
This is the jump point. This is them.
Yep.
What is this one?
That's you. That's the
And what is
gambler.
this one?
Yeah,
I've
or
got
this
two
one.
I've got 2 ships over there.
You see 2 ships?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see
I only see-
I see the Balin transport right on 9.
And then on spot 9 is is a transport.
On spot 9, I do not see a transport on spot 9.
There you go. We've got a Balin. We've got a Balin.
Oh yeah. No, so that's what that was the confusion.
Yeah, I was like, Bert?
I was like,
Yeah,
oh, hey,
yeah,
there
yeah.
it is. All right, let me delete that and pull out a new one. But yes, that is our.
So this is from the so we're looking at the map from the perspective of them, the Florian answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Copy.
Does chat need the map?
Map is up for them.
Okay.
There is the Florian answer,
This
and
makes way more sense now.
I did not see that there was a ship there. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. All That's why I was confused.
That was me. So that is that's the Florida answer. I rolled very, very badly for your distance. Normally you would have been much, much farther out, but luckily for you, I rolled a 3. So you are much closer than you would otherwise be. We're in combat time right now. What would you all like to do?
Combat time.
Oh, yeah.
So we've picked them up on sensors. Can we ping them on? Can we like talk to them on comms at this point, or do we have to get closer?
You
We're
can
comm range.
definitely comm them.
We're comm range.
Definitely within comm range. Absolutely. You might want to place yourself on your action stations.
All right, because we can do that.
Yes, I would like to know
If we
where...
could move our tokens, we could do that. I can
I
move
can.
Kareen. I can't move Quint.
I can't
Why
move
not?
Quint either.
Okay.
I can move the 3 NPCs.
Hold on.
Not myself.
hold on.
Now I can move myself.
All right.
Well, I get Terrica would just be coming up from engineering at this point.
I
So
have Corsair Admiral on here, but I guess I'll take Captain.
You are captain.
So just to make sure you're going to leave engineering.
because we are in sensor range at this point. Yeah.
Right.
We're in comms range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wesley's not on the ship. Karina's not on the ship. Evan's not on the ship. The
Perfect.
Harlock is not on the ship.
Perfect.
Val's not on the
Wesley,
ship.
wait. I think Wesley was on the ship, right? Because Wesley was
Wesley is
helping.
on the ship.
That is correct. That is
Yes,
correct.
Wesley
Yeah,
was on the ship.
because Terrica
He's
left him
engineering.
down to do the M drive in case we need
Yep.
it. Or sorry, the J drive in case we need it.
Yep.
And Val is currently
Is not on the
large.
ship.
He's at large.
At large.
Yeah. So,
Sick.
what would y'all like to do this turn?
So, Ari, you
I-
haven't played around with the map yet, right? This is new because we haven't
It's a new
done
map.
That's right.
Right.
I had a conflict with our
Yeah.
combat.
Just
Yeah.
letting you know because it took us a bit to figure it out as well. But this is actually, the gambler should be spun around because we're actually going to be going in this sort of direction. All of the spaces it's actually linear in a like
Snake way.
Candyland board game snake format. It's not a cone. See how it goes? Beep, 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 beep.
Except that you're
Yeah.
going the
I
wrong
see,
direction. You have to go down first.
What?
You have to
1,
go
2,
down
3, 4,
first.
5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, I went the wrong way. Yeah, sorry, I was supposed to go this way.
Okay.
Anyway, but it's not a cone. It is a snake-like spaces. So instead, we have, we have like, whatever that many spaces until we get there. Those different colors are different ranges, and that's pretty much it. Gray is super long range. That space between blue and gray isn't really anything except it just needed to be there to
there
make
for
it
the
look
numbers.
nice.
For the
For
count.
the numbers,
Yeah.
for the count. Other than that, it's a snake. It's not a cone. So, like, we could stretch it out into a giant line, but that would be really weird. So this is all
And long.
compressed. Yeah.
And
Really
long.
long.
So yeah, just so how we're reading it. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I wanted to have gone down. Yeah.
Ah,
Anyway.
thank you, man. That helps.
welcome.
That helps quite a lot. I did not catch on the little arrows there.
Yeah.
I guess that because I thought we were a lot closer than
Oh,
we
no.
We
were.
are pretty close.
Yeah.
We are pretty close.
Yeah, we could
I mean,
be way
comparatively.
farther. We could be way farther.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
But-
normally you would be over here.
In the
Most of the time
gray.
in the gray.
Oh.
And it is very hard to catch up to somebody when you're in the
Because
gray.
there's 50 spaces, and you can only
There are
move your
50
ship's
spaces.
thrust per
Yes.
turn.
And we have
Yep.
6 thrust, and they have
That is
3
correct.
thrust.
Yeah,
That
and
is
our thrust
correct.
is our actions / movement,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now,
which is kind
I
of
will
cool now
note.
that we see it visually.
Oh, yeah.
We go, that's what that means. Yeah.
I will note that I rolled so badly on distance. Most of the time, you're going to be in blue and gray when you come upon people. So you are exceedingly close.
Pretty great.
You are
Oh.
very, very close as opposed to what would normally happen. I just rolled super bad. And then also Severance rolled really well. Cord rolled well in his luck.
Hey.
And
Thank you.
yep,
And
I would have
psychic.
popped you out. I would have popped you out further if he'd failed that roll. Then you would have been at the beginning of blue.
Psionics.
So,
Cool.
I'm going to note that the first thing we do is maneuver. Well, actually, we should do initiative. This is important,
Right.
because it does determine who gets to go first. So, currently, Quint is our pilot. Dear pilot.
That's correct, because Terrica hasn't taken over from me yet. Hello. Say.
Could you roll your initiative, please?
I sure can. I gotta remember where it is on the sheet.
It's
Under
2D
combat.
plus your pilot plus the thrust of the ship, which is 6.
Okay.
Nobody's
So
shooting
not
anybody.
so not a regular initiative. You want a special ship initiative.
That is correct.
Okay.
So you roll piloting, dex piloting plus 6, because it's
Okay.
of your ship is very fast.
Okay, well, this is not small craft, so it's just Dex. 1d6 plus...
2d6.
Your 6s, right?
2d6.
2d6. Thank
2d6.
you. Plus my Dex plus 6. So that'll be a total of...
Your dex modifier, of course.
Yes.
And you can just do it off your skill, actually.
Well, it's too late. I already typed it out. 14.
Because, you have the skill. You can just press it. That's a 14. You made it.
That is fair.
You...
Okay, but then I would have had the plus 8 anyways. I'm still getting used to the sheets.
Fair enough. You made it by 6. Let's just have the gambler. Let's put initiative on the table there for us. Why don't we? Add a turn. And the gambler's at a 6. And let's also add let's just add a turn.
Do you want tactics here too?
Yes, if you would like to, because you can absolutely do that if you would like.
Just because I could see it in this space battle sequence cheat sheet that has been so kindly added onto this thing.
If you have naval tactics.
I do. I have belly button tactics.
Please roll it. You may increase their initiative.
I think I do.
Can I aid
I
that?
military.
Because I
Haha,
also
never mind.
have it. Oh, I have
military
naval
tactics.
tactics.
I have military. Yeah, you have naval.
Oh, I have naval. Okay.
I'm going to make a note here. It is the captain who makes this roll.
Oh.
If somebody who is not the captain makes this roll, I will note the lack of clarity in the command structure.
Okay.
Okay.
Which, luckily for you all, is not so bad right now because you don't have a full crew. But if you did have a full crew, they would note the lack of harmony, leadership in the command structure, and that would have a negative impact on your morale checks.
Cool. Love that.
That's awesome.
Just gonna note that one. Although at the moment, there's nobody on the bridge but y'all, so you can absolutely make that roll.
Cool. Here we go.
Because you have nobody else there. You know what I mean? So, like, if you had other people there,
It's
then...
not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna impact Kareem or
Trooper will remember this.
Yeah.
But Trooper.
I just want you to know.
Which difficulty should I click here?
8.
Thank you.
Average. It's almost always average unless something else weird happens.
8 is average?
Yes.
8 is average.
I was told wrong. It was 6.
Oh, no. So, I need to know how Terrica, who's coming up from the engineering, kind of takes over the captaincy right now.
I think because
Severence
I know
is right
we
there.
had a whole season between when this happened, but realistically, we landed on Drinax 72 hours ago, maybe,
Yep.
maybe if that. I don't even think we've had time to officially change out the captain title on the right. So Terrica,
Yeah, you were
is
acting
just,
captain.
Yeah. So Terrica's just walking up with that sort of same commanding that they've had to manage for like the last couple of months. but with significantly less pain this time, right? Because like for the last 2 months, it's been a lot of like,
Yes.
oh, my head, oh God, this is the worst thing in the world. Why am I here? But now it's just this sort of very single-minded focus of, and as they're walking up and starting to be like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and just issuing commands, they're remembering that Sue had talked to them. Well, June had talked to them and said that Val had assigned June back to the ship because he was intending to be gone for a long time. I have a question for you. If we turn on the holographic projector piece, I know we won't disappear from sensors, but we'd at least disappear from visual.
No, you'll.
Is
look
that going to
different.
cut? We'll look
It doesn't
different.
make you
So we
invisible.
can't mimic the stars behind us.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
I
Never
mean,
mind.
on visual, maybe, but not on sensors at all. It wouldn't do anything to their sensors. So they'd be like, it's there.
Yeah.
We'd
Now,
have
that
to turn off the
said-
transponder, right? To
Yes.
be able
Now
to
that-
disappear from
yes.
sensors.
Now that said, you are a very stealthy ship. If you want to turn all of your sensors off and turn your transponder off and go dark, you can. And they will be very unlikely to be able to see you because you have like plus like 14 stealth if you wanted to take off all of your sensors.
But it's
which, by the
so
way,
illegal.
It is illegal.
It's
I will
super
note.
illegal.
Not to us, though. We are the law. We are in Drinax.
That is true. That is true.
Well, it really depends on what the king says about it if he finds out.
Yeah.
Did you turn your transponder off? How dare you?
The king is very unlikely to care.
Well, it depends on
all?
what we do with our
You
transponder
took- you
turned
got,
off.
You got rid of this treasonous monster? Good. Wait a second. You turned your transponder off? Never mind.
It's what we do with our transponder turned off that might be
Yes.
up
Yeah.
to suspicion.
And I'm actually mad. Yeah.
Yep.
I take back my congratulations.
So I do need to know if you want to go stealth or not. This is important.
Why the hell not? I mean, it's not my choice. As the captain is,
mean-
but it's not mine.
If you go, it depends, I think, on whether you want to hail the ship or not. Right? That's the question. If you hail the ship, then you're not going to be stealth.
Why would we go stealth? There's a question.
True. Hey, great
Because
question.
because Terrica right now is trying to figure out if they're about to interrupt and mess up with the entirety of Val's plan, or if Rax went rogue here and put Val on a ship and
It's so kind
Val
of you
is in
thinking
trouble.
that it was
That's
Val's
what
plan.
Terrica's trying to figure out right now.
Right.
And if they go stealth, then
You
if
heard
they
Greg. He
go,
doesn't have a plan.
there's no plan. What plan? Who has a plan here?
But
Greg
Val
was
may
like,
have
"There's
a
a plan. I'm gonna destroy it."
I mean, it's not too far from the truth.
I don't think it's far at all.
Pretty much on the truth, yeah.
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 So I think the
Fuck
other
you
question I have
all.
is
So we had this trial in the
Did you
bag.
say fuck you all?
we did have this trial in the
All right,
bag.
okay,
We
perfect.
did, and now it's complicated.
Now it's way more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, will going stealth slow us down at all?
No. Although the faster you go, the more likely you're able to be seen, because that's a lot of
Okay.
energy. But you are
Right,
also
right.
an insanely stealthy ship.
Let's go stealth.
All right. You'll have to
Why
give
not?
the command to.
It's probably the
shut
only
off all
time
of
we'll be
your
able to do that.
sensors. Oh no, you can do it all the time.
That's true. We could do it all the time, but will we?
You just have
Probably
to.
not.
You just have to come up with excuses when the
When
the
we
police
get
come
stopped by
and be like,
the
Right.
police at other ports and be like, "Why was your transponder off in the Drinax system?"
Oh, faulty. Oops.
and-
Well, I mean,
you
we
know,
have
or-
the perfect excuse here.
Yeah, we have a letter of
Realistically,
marque.
we just overclocked the engine 3 different times.
True.
So
you
And
know,
if someone's like, "Hey, why were you in the Drinax system and overclocked your engine?" We could be like, "Well, because we have a letter of marque, and don't ask." And they'll be like,
nope, nope, can't say that.
Excuse us.
Can't say the letter of mark part because they
No.
can't know that yet. That's secret. But look,
Posh.
generally speaking, there are a couple of times when people will turn off their transponders and get away with it. And that tends to be if they are trying to wild refuel in a place that might have pirates. It's usually not wise to have your transponder on. So if you are like an innocent trader, merchant, and you want to go and wild refuel, people understand that you might be turning off your transponder then. It'll just be a problem if every time there's a pirate attack, your transponder's off. Do you know what I mean? That's just one of the things that, like, if
So the
you
more we
happen to
do
be-
it, the more really sus it seems until we get a fake transponder.
unless
Each time it'll increase our problem.
Yeah, and if you do that, you have to then wild refuel, because then it can just be like, oh, but you said you wild refueled, but then why did you buy fuel there, right? So you have to, you can do it. Also, you want to make sure that you have a plausible deniability about being in that location when a pirate attack happens. So, like, you can mitigate it. You just have to be careful.
Does the overclocking excuse work, or is that too
No.
flimsy?
No, because
too
that
flimsy.
won't.
We
That won't,
have to
that won't
wild
take up
refuel.
yeah, you have to be like, oh, we turned it off because we were wild refueling. Now, many places, like if you were in Tick, they wouldn't care. This has only been an issue if, like,
Grade A
Imperial or
spaceports
Aslan-
or B.
yes, A and B
A or B
spaceports with people who are looking. But you
And
turn
if we're
off
gonna
all
go
your
to the pirate
sensors.
planet. Yeah.
Yeah,
we look
if
at
you
we
go
are
to
going to go to
pirate
the
planet,
pirate planet, but that takes a long time to get
Through
there. That planet's
Imperial
real
space.
far away.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Thief, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to make a roll now because you have gone silent. But if you don't mind, I would really love to. Oh, dang it! I would really love to hear you give the order.
I think Terrica just walks on the bridge and goes, turn all the comms off immediately. Sensors as well. Everything goes dark.
Yes, Captain. Wait, what? And then, but it's
Quint
probably
will
also
have the expression on their face of why, but won't say anything out loud, but the expression is very there.
They'll just go ahead.
no, please.
They'll look at Quint and they'll just say, we're close enough to see if Val's okay. We might as well at least try that first.
Oh, I'm not on the bridge. Sorry.
I thought you were on the bridge.
No, I'm in the crystal place. I'm in the cargo bay.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's
That's
right.
why I haven't been able to
Yes.
give you the badge yet. So yeah.
Yes. So you've got to put yourself over there in at large.
I'm in at large. Oh, because I'm not in the
you're in-
captain's spot.
Because
That
you're
is
not in
correct.
any crew spot. Cargo bay is just you're in the stuff spot.
Actually, Terrica is now in the captain's chair.
Okay.
Oh wait, so the only person on the bridge is Quint? Then I think the order
Absolutely.
would have
No, you
the
and
order
Quint.
would have
You and
The
Quint.
order-
Yeah.
what they would have said would have been not quite as just like, but it would have been pretty. It would have just been like, we need to go dark. I'm going to try and contact Val.
You get it's the same exact reaction
Just
no
to
matter
Quint.
what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's still the
I just don't
like,
think it would have been.
I
Like,
don't think this is a good idea. Why are we doing this? Expression very visible on their face, but they will comply. And there's
So-
more head shaking.
I have to
It's
make
just
a
like-
roll, but the roll is not initiative just yet. You have your initiative +2 from that naval tactics roll, by the way. So you're at an 8. I think I also need to know one thing. This is important. How fast do you plan on flying? Because that impacts your stealthiness.
as fast as possible. I don't think we're backing off on speed. Like Terrica's hoping to, and I don't know if I can do this in the same turn, but Terrica's hoping to just psionically connect with Val and have a quick conversation.
So, this is important because that is going to be they're going to get a bonus of +6 because you're flying at speed 6. Because that's right. That's the faster you go, the more of a bonus they get. That said, your stealth hole gives you a 6 right there because it's very, very, very stealthy. So I'm gonna roll my 2d. I'm gonna roll my. Go
I
ahead.
argue that I am sensors right now because I did do some sensors, but it wasn't it wasn't like traditional sensors.
Well, this is traditional sensors. If you have
All
to
right,
get up to
fine.
you gotta get to the sensor spot.
Join us
I'm
on
gonna
the
roll
bridge,
this-
Severance.
I probably will.
He'll have to do that on his turn. So they've got like a
We're quitting the game.
4. I'm going to tell you what their basic roll is, and then we're going to do the modifiers. So they rolled a 12, right? Which means, and all they need is an 8. That said, this is before we take into account the modifiers. So they're going to get a +6 because you're moving at 6, which puts them at an 18. But you have a stealth hull, knocks that back down to 12. Also, your ship is 3 levels more advanced than theirs, so that knocks it down to -3, so that knocks it down to a 9. You are not running active sensors. You are operating your power plant. That's a 10. And I'm afraid they are going to see you. Because you're coming in hot. If you were coming in slower, they wouldn't have seen you, right? Because
Fire the missiles!
they get a +6 because you're just coming in so fast, right? So I get to roll initiative.
It's the only way to win.
Because they see that you're coming, right?
And we're coming in dark, like pirates.
Coming in
Yeah,
hot.
it's not a good
dark.
look.
It's
Dark
real
hot.
bad.
They don't know who you are. There is just
Nope.
a ship coming in fast
Ooh.
that they do not know what this ship is, because this ship does not have you have no yeah. Let me just add a turn here
No,
for
no,
the
no.
florid answer. No. They're at a 5. So they know you're coming. They know you're coming in dark. That seems very sketchy to them. They don't know what's going on. They're very worried. You seem like a problem, but that's okay. So we have to do our maneuver range first. Pilot, dear Quint,
Yep.
you have a thrust of 6. Please
I
note,
sure do.
you can use all of that for your maneuvering, or you can use some of it and keep some left over for dodging, if you like, or your various pilot maneuvers.
Well, if they fire a missile at us at this range, it will hit us no matter what we do unless we move away, and that's just buying time. So, I think just moving forward would probably be the best here to at least get in close combat range.
So please, if you would, take your 6 move with none left over for dodging. So no dodging for you.
Hey, look at that.
Look at it. They see you coming. They see you coming in hot, and they're like, "Ooh, the jump line is right over there."
Yep, they're gonna race towards that.
They're going to race towards it, is what they're going to do. They don't know if you're going to fire or not, so they're going to spend their entire move just moving. So they're going to take their 3 move, and they're going to, boom, get that much closer to the jump line. After the maneuver step, it is the attack step. Would you all like to attack?
Terrica's not going to give any kind of orders to attack.
Just asking.
We could attack electronically, right? But that would be with electronics.
That's the action step. That's after the attack step.
But that is something, right? We can
Yes, it is.
disable the ship.
If you wanted to disable the ship, you'd want to shoot at them. With electronics, you can get a target lock.
Jam
you can
them.
jam their sensors or their comms, so they can't communicate out to anyone.
But jamming their comms or their sensors isn't going to stop them from getting to a jump line, right? Because the jump line is a horizon. It is a distance away. They can just fly backwards at this point and just be like, "Bye, we're there." Okay, never mind. All right. It's not a specific gate or anything they're going to. They're going to just a distance away.
They need to just get out of the gravity well of the star, and then they can jump.
Yeah. All right.
So, the last phase of this round is the action phase. Each one of you gets to take an action. which can be all number of things. It can be hailing them. It can be doing other mysterious things. And I know you're going to ask, so let me just pull up the range band.
Thank you so much.
For psionics.
Okay. How did you know me? You know me so well.
I know. So this, you have to know the scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each square, each hex, pardon me, is basically 1 kilometer,
Okay.
right? More or less. It's like 10,000. It's like 10 kilometers, more or less.
Sure.
That's about right. So, telepathy has a range of, if you're going to do mind linked, of distant, which is 5 kilometers. So that is, so this is here is 1 kilometer or less. Close is 1 to 10 kilometers. So you would need to be in that red box. You need to be close.
Well, I just put 5.
Yeah. So if you look at the, no, you're too far. If you look at the range bands, right, it has adjacent is 1 kilometer or less, close is 1 kilometer to 10 kilometers, short is 11 to 1250 kilometers, medium is. So you are currently between 10 and 25,000
Yeah, this isn't going to
kilometers
okay.
away from them. So you are way too far to make psionic contact.
Yeah. I see. Right.
You
If it was a cone, I'd be fine. But yeah, it's all right.
You need to get close before you can psionically contact them. So you need to get basically into that, the one that's like an orangey color, to be within range in order to contact them psionically. In terms of, you can do it just with regular electronics though, but psionics, you need to get within that second spot. And if you wanted to teleport, in case somebody was thinking about it,
in case anybody was thinking about it,
who would be thinking about that?
Who would do that?
Is
I don't need my clothes.
Also distant, and to be very clear, with distant, you actually just have to be right up on them. You're gonna have to push and spend extra power to get them from the close area.
It'd be hilarious if I teleported, but because I wouldn't be able to teleport back because I made it. I've canonically made it so I can only use my psionic powers in the hull or when I'm next to the crystal. So that'll be hilarious. Okay.
You could anchor back.
Sure.
So
you say that.
That was.
Well, you say that, but I probably wouldn't do it. All right. Okay.
So each one of you gets to take an action based on where you're at. Our Admiral, you're in the hull.
I'm going to move to the bridge.
That'll be your action.
Yeah, that'll be my action.
Our pilot has taken your action, which is generally you're moving around. Captain, what would you like to do?
Let's see. Has Terrica ever seen Val operate sensors?
Yes. If you have electronics, you can operate sensors.
Okay.
But you'd need to move to the sensor.
Station.
Range.
Station. Thank you. Station. That's the word. I was like, station. Yes.
Well, originally I was going to try and psionically contact Val, but
you have to get much closer.
Terrica would know that, right? They wouldn't. They know enough about psionics that like they wouldn't just try and.
Yeah, you've never been able to go that far.
And there was the whole like even when we were leaving the core of Drinax, Terrica was trying to contact Val psionically, and there was a point where he was out of range. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Can they tell that the other ship has picked up on them being there? Like, did the other ship like accelerate forward or something like that?
They're going max speed already. So Not necessarily. If they contact you, then you would know. But at the moment, you get to go first before they do.
Okay.
They've not changed anything just yet.
And Severance has made it to the bridge at this point.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
When Severance gets to the bridge, Terrica will, who is like sitting in the captain's chair, will look over at him. Question. One more question before I do this. Do we currently have the ability to send communications all the way back to Drinax? AKA, does that ship have the ability to send communications all the way back to Drinax?
Yes. That's one of the problems with pirating people, is that they can send communications back. However, you are 11 hours away from Drinax with a fast ship. And they don't have a lot of fast ships on the floating palace. So if you were going to say, for example, pirate them, which you're not, but let's say you were, it would take a very long time before anybody could come and rescue them. Because Drinax is in the jump shadow of the star. Like, if there are planets where it takes about an hour to get to the jump point, that's it. It takes 12, 13, 14 hours to get to the jump point from Drinax because it's in the jump shadow of its star. So this is a great place to pirate people.
And if we jam their communications, will we be able to talk to them later?
If you jam their communications, they can't send out.
Okay.
Right. So
and
you
they
could
won't
still
be
talk
able
with
to, like, it would be a permanent, they would not permanently be able to send it out. Or like, could
well,
we
they're
pull...
gonna they would try to break the jamming, right? They would have to try to break the jamming. But the Gambler also has very advanced jammers and electronic countermeasures. It is a very advanced ship that is made to sneak up on people, jam their communications, and then rob them. I mean, take taxes. Take taxes that they have not given.
It's quite cool,
privateer.
I assure you.
So if you wanted to, you could you could change your position to the sensor station if you wanted.
Yeah, I think Terrica would, and they're gonna try and jam them.
Well,
Who?
that will have to be next turn.
Oh, okay.
Because moving your
You're
position
repositioning. Yeah.
reposition is a thing. So put yourself in the sensor.
And Severance has
station.
repositioned himself to Captain, I would assume, since Terrica's repositioned away from Captain.
Yes.
Yep.
Out of my chair.
Ooh.
Terrica will just like look over at him and be like,
On the ship. Hey,
Can I do my
Val.
action?
You're a pilot. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
No, you may not.
it's real small. I just want to hold the badge that was given to me over like this to Severance and go,
Nice.
the king told me to give this to you, Severance. You've not really been here for me to do that, so...
Yes, well, good, yes. Thank you,
I
Quint.
think that means you have this position, temporarily speaking, and I'll just get back to
Yes.
flipping things. That's all I wanted to do. It was just,
Thank you.
just I can do it while I'm flying. I just was
Very
like,
kind.
he might need this, so
Thank you.
Batches.
there you go.
Batches. We don't
Thank
need
you,
those
Quint.
stinking batches. Val, over on your ship.
Very kind.
Let's talk about what's happening over for you right now. Let me get over to our. Where are you? You're in this combat map. Here we go. While you're there, dearest Val. Val's out. He's gone right now.
Yeah, I was like, I don't see
Oh, yeah,
Greg.
where did
no.
he go?
Yeah, we lost him.
he lost
well,
power.
I lost power.
Oh no! Oh,
He's
rebooting.
been jammed.
No.
So
Sorry.
what we're
Yes,
gonna
Barry.
do is note that he's got a turn of perhaps murder. So,
Hey,
Yay, murder.
yeah.
love
On
that.
that ship, they've got they have their gunners. I mean, when you're about ready to go into jump space, everybody's on deck, everybody's ready for like a professional ship.
Hey,
Their
what are you trying to say about
gunners-
us?
Nothing. Their gunners do some stuff. You'd have to do a sensor sweep to know. And their engineer does some stuff. Everybody does some stuff. And then you get
They do
a
things.
hail. You get a radio burst comes out from the ship. This is the captain of the Florian Answer. Identify yourself.
I know you are, but what am I? No.
Now, you don't have to respond. They're just putting it like they're not. It's not like a direct beam right to you. They're
Could just
putting it
say-
out, right? Because they're like, I don't know what this is about.
Drinaxian Empire. Is, the admiral of the Drinaxian fleet. Halt under King Olib.
Yes, and if this is
Yes, and I like it.
if this is something Val is trying to do, then we're definitely taking them back, and that will be a whole thing.
Wait. So I shouldn't say this.
No, I'm just. Well, my whole plan just is.
You had a plan. What was your plan?
Of course, I had a plan. My plan was to sneak up on them and then to contact Val and to see if this was
I'm sorry, this
Yeah,
is
well,
not-
they know we're here. Well, they know we're here, so it's not going to work.
This is not
so,
Admiral
okay.
Rax.
Okay, so
here we go.
The ship on the
You
outside.
should
This
just
is not Admiral
talk-
Rax.
Talk what?
you should talk to them as the acting admiral of Drinax and tell them to stop.
This is the acting admiral of Drinax. You are ordered to stop under King Olin the first.
I'm sorry. Lord Rax is the admiral of the Royal Navy.
I'm sorry, he's not.
What?
As of 11 hours ago, he is not. Thank you.
We have been given direct orders to take these prisoners to a seam.
You are given direct orders right now to turn off your engines. Well, to come to a stop and shut down your engines, because if you shut them down now, you will continue going towards the jump point, and we don't trust you. You understand?
I need a leadership role from you.
Right, perfect.
Is it because I explained to them what we thought was going to happen? So this is me, leadership. You don't want like a persuade or anything, but leadership?
This is going to be at a... No, it's leadership, but it's going to
Show
be at a
social.
bane because your ship has all of its stuff turned off. And it makes you
that's
seem
fair.
like pirates.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, totally. And I'm like, hey, I'm the admiral. And he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah. Okay, good.
Like, you seem like pirates. Is what you
Yeah,
seem
I
like.
am.
We sure do.
Really?
It seems like a persuade, not a leadership.
Well, no, because you're
Well,
making
it's
orders.
to say that you're admiral and you're telling them to stand down.
Okay. All right. Okay. But I do have the badge. They don't see it. All right, Jesus. Okay. What if a guy send you a
Yeah.
picture of my badge? All right. I will. I'm sending it over now. You have the airdrop turned on.
I
Is it ready to
promise-
receive? Yeah.
I know it looks like Lord Rax's badge, and like it just got taken off of
but
Lord
it's-
Rax.
but
And
it's
usually
totally
there's a
mine.
new one that's issued, but I promise.
Yeah, I know it says Lord Rax on the front of it, but it's mine. I promise.
I will also know you're going to have a penalty that is based on their morale.
Come on. Right.
You know,
Thanks.
So let me-
Thanks, Terrica, for your leadership before, ruining our morale now.
No, their morale. It's just
Whatever.
gonna be they have a morale.
Just
of
makes it more
9.
sus. Yeah.
What am I rolling? What's my neggy mod?
It's your leadership. It's your leadership at a bane.
Add a bane. Oh, okay. There's another modifier that is okay. Just
-9, which
Ah!
is their morale.
oh, what?
Ooh.
Yep.
You want me to write a -9 on this?
Yes, please. It's the
Ooh.
morale. I rolled a 6.
I don't like
It's
that
a-
at all.
If we
You
had
sure
an
you don't wanna
identifiable ship, you
persuade?
might not be rolling it with their negative morale.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I have a -1.
Oh.
Which means you rolled really well in general,
did.
but
Thank you.
yeah.
I'm gonna use 2 luck on that and make it a 1. I'm kidding. I'm not.
You
Kidding.
don't need to. That is, you need to
Don't do
make a.
that.
you need
Save
to
your
eight.
luck, man.
I know
You
I'm
need to
not
save
doing
that luck.
I know I'm not doing that.
And as you say this, you demand their surrender.
Quint is face palming, by the way. Just,
Right? You say, you hear them say, "I'm sorry. Until we hear from Lord Rax, we're not listening to some sort of what seems to be some sort of unidentified ship. I'm so sorry, but stand down, and leave us be, or we'll be forced
Oh,
to
Or what?
retaliate.
Oh no,
We'll
don't
be
do that.
We'll be forced to defend ourselves.
No,
Don't do
don't
that.
fucking.
Don't shoot us.
That's exactly what pirates would say.
Yeah, don't.
Right? Is
Would
that-
you like me to turn everything back on?
Yes, please turn
Okay.
everything back
Everything
on.
back on. Yeah, this is probably
Next
yes.
round, everybody.
Yep.
Next round.
Oh no! Don't fire at us.
We promise, we're
Next
really
round.
the gambler.
Really,
They don't believe you. They
We
don't believe you.
really
we're
are who we
it's
say we are.
really,
You also
really
haven't
don't wanna-
identified yourself as like Admiral Severance. You're just like, I'm
I
the
said the
Admiral now.
I'm used to it.
Look at me. I'm your admiral now.
I'm
I'm
gonna
your
make it
admiral.
I
note
could
that we
be
get-
anyone,
That's right.
but I'm your Admiral.
I don't want Val to be like, oh shit, Severance is here. Great, I got this. He may have a plan.
We're trying to protect Val's plan.
Or-
and Greg at the beginning
right.
of this episode
He
was
said
like,
he has
I don't
no
know what
plan.
I'm
Yeah, I
doing.
know.
Here
Yeah,
we
it's
go.
great. He has zero plan, but we are convinced that Val has one.
1, 2, 3.
Quint is it?
Maneuver. You all get to go first.
Yeah.
Make it so.
Yeah. Would you like to take your full move or not?
If we take our full move, we can't dodge, correct?
That is correct.
Correct.
All right, I'm not a pilot. I'm just okay.
Captain?
I mean, I feel like this is the pilot's call, but Terrica would absolutely be advocating for going fast.
The pilot's call.
Okay.
But
Quint
remember,
hates every
last
ounce
time
of
we
this.
listened to Terrica.
Just because I'm the captain on the sheet doesn't mean I'm going to tell you what to do.
Quint will
Wait,
move.
so does Quint have a look on their face
Creative
Oh.
freedom.
when Terrica's like, go fast? Like, what does
If
Quint do?
Terrica says go fast, Quint is gonna go 5 to hold 1 for dodging. Because this is broadcast to the whole, deck. I'm like, we might need to do some evasive maneuvers, but we're still double their speed, almost, so we'll still gain on them. So Quint will move 5.
Okay.
Perfect.
Boop.
Just move 2, if you don't mind, or move back.
Oh,
3,
okay.
because they're gonna move forward 3.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3. They get 3 closer to the jump point. That's what they're booking. They are not.
And I
They
start
are
turning
not-
back the things that I can turn on that made the ship go dark while I'm
Yes.
piloting. Because I'm not moving as fast as I could be, so because I'm holding a little back, so I'm turning back stuff on.
I have a quick question. It's the attack phase. Do you want, as the pilot, you can also shoot the turrets. You'll be at a penalty, but would you like to attack this ship?
No!
I'm just asking. I don't know.
Unless ordered to, I ain't doing
Shoot
I
the
know.
thrusters. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding. Use her particle beam and fire at the thrusters.
Look, if
Shoot
you
right-
say that,
We promise we're not pirates. We're
Shoot
just
right
shooting
through
at
it,
you,
yeah.
going dark, and
Get our
saying that
particle
we're an
lance
admiral.
and pierce through that whole ship, but start with the thrusters first.
I move 5 and I start turning shit back on. Comm, sense, whatever shit I can turn on from my terminal, I'm turning it back on so that we may hopefully be identifiable as the
Emergency
gambler
lights
and maybe
turn
gain
off.
some credibility.
Our interior flickers on again.
Yeah.
I feel like
They're
our
not
interior
going
lights
to-
are gas lights. It's just like,
Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. They're not going to shoot at you because you haven't shot first, but they are ready.
okay, good.
Actions. Quint turns on the transponder, turns on the sensors, the active sensors, turns on everything. What do you other 2 of you would like to do?
Is it action phase?
Mm-hmm.
That was quick. Oh my.
It was quick.
Sensor lock. What does that do? Wait, we have a whole cheat sheet you gave us somewhere.
I did give you a whole cheat sheet.
Ah, I remember.
Yep,
It's just
it's right there.
somewhere else.
As the captain, you can try to demoralize
yeah, well,
them.
that.
You can try to give do
There's
some
a
leadership.
whole- Where's the doc? Didn't we have documents and stuff?
You can improve initiative.
AIDS, LOS, Aura? No.
No, I gave it to you in the
It's on the space battle sequence.
yes, it is also.
No,
Space battle sequence.
no. I mean, like, there were other things. Wasn't there like another sheet somewhere that was like things you can do if you like?
Yes, I put it in Discord, but let me grab it
never
and then
mind.
I'll put it in.
Never mind. Sorry.
Is it pinned?
I would hope so. That's not necessarily
see.
true.
It's not necessarily true.
Our
But
Forge,
I did
no, that's I am
drop
Forge.
it in.
I'm sorry, I'm the worst.
Oh,
Let me
no
scroll
worries
all
at
the
all.
way up here.
But there it is. The cheat sheet flow
Easy
chart.
Space Combat. There it is. Yeah.
Yes. Oops. Let me pin it.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
is
remember this.
Pinned. Yes.
Sensors.
So. They don't get to do their actions until you take yours. And
Oh, not on sensors. Sorry.
no, that's Terrica's on sensors at the moment. Which means
Captain.
Terrica
do
can
leadership,
do a sensor lock,
right?
can do yes.
Is that
can
gives
do
me
electronic
bonuses
warfare.
I can hand out to people?
Yes, that is correct.
I'll do that.
There they are.
Which is probably the easiest thing to do. I have an 8. Oh, it's rolling the Bane.
Yeah, you'd roll again because you have no Bane this time. You've got no Bane.
Well, if we just got rid of it, it'd be a 10 plus 3, 13.
13? Oh, excellent. In which
So
case...
he rolled a 1 and then a 6, and the 6 got grayed out, so...
13? So that is 5. You have 5 plus 1s that you can give to anyone.
Yeah.
I'll just make a little 5 here so that we know it. 5. There you go.
Thank you.
Terrica, you're on sensors. You can...
Actually, can I do that? How did you do that?
If you click on the token,
Yeah.
then there's like the little cog, and then next to the cog there's a little mirror circle thing, and that gives you all the token things. If you hover over one of the tokens and you can
then
put
click
a number.
Thank you. I'm doing it. Okay. Well, it's not working for me.
It should.
I was just gonna put it on my token so I remembered that I have the 5.
Okay.
But whatever. I don't know what it is. Whatever. It's fine.
Okay, so
Hey, Vancouver by
I
Night.
don't want to. Oh, sorry.
I just said hi to Vancouver by Night. Who said hi?
Hey. Hey.
Oh, good. He's got 2 turns, basically.
Basically.
Oh, Greg. Yes. What would you like to do? You can, from sensors, you can get a sensor lock, which helps with shooting them. You can jam them. You can astrogate to try to jump away. You could like swap out programs, but your computer's good enough that you don't need to swap out programs.
So the original plan was to jam them, but now they've already like reached out to contact us, which means they probably already sent a message back to Drinax.
It was on the open channels.
Oh yeah, so anybody could,
Anybody.
So
they haven't sent one out to the floating palace yet, because if they did, you would have heard it. Because it's obvious. Like you can't. There are no private messages that way, right? You just have to like broadcast loudly for somebody to pick up. So they haven't yet sent a message to the floating palace. When they do, which will probably be this turn, you will hear it.
Does Terrica recognize the voice of the person who responded before?
No. This is probably an Asim person.
Okay. That's kind of worse. Yeah, but if we jam sensors, it's going to look so bad. Whereas if they send a message back to Drinax, now we're showing that we're the gambler. There's still going to be the whole matter of like why we switched off sensors that we'll have to handle, but I think we handle that later.
I think it'll be fine. So we could catch up with them. I don't know what the big deal is.
Right. We just need to like talk them down basically at this point, and be able to get a conversation with one of the prisoners. But I don't think I'm not worried about them sending a message at this point. Maybe I should be.
It's just going to waste their time. They're going to show up with guns ablazing, and then we're going to be like, "It's us." And they're going to be like, "Oh, sorry, our bad."
Right. I mean, it's going to be a waste of fuel, right? Like,
Correct.
yeah, but if we jam the sensors, it's going to be so much worse that you're going to have to, that's going to make this.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we probably shouldn't do that.
Even worse.
Yeah,
I don't think we
do
should.
that.
I don't think actually Terrica should do anything right now, and I don't think they would. I think they're just waiting to get in psychic range.
That's
with Val.
fair.
So,
Don't get any closer. I'm warning you.
what would you like to
Don't
do?
get any closer.
That's what we're going to say.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
Okay.
what's happening. And we're like, you're getting closer. We have to get a psychic range. Here we come.
So Max asked, I don't know how long these rounds are. A round in space combat is 6 minutes. Each round is 6 minutes. Physical combat with regular people is 6 seconds. So if things start getting into physical combat on that other ship, it's going to be over before you get to them. Just going to note that.
Yeah, it's going to be over before one of our rounds is done.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Because they'll have 10 rounds before the next thing goes. I just wanted to point that out just in case. So Val.
Speaking of which.
Yes. Val's on Greg's on a brand new computer. Val.
Brand new.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to be after break.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But just so you know, this is the second round, and they're trying to get close to you. And in case any combat happens, you'll have multiple rounds before they can actually get to you.
Gotcha, but Val wouldn't know that anyway. So I'm just gonna.
Well,
I mean, if
Val
I hear
sees,
something, then.
Oh, there's trouble. You start hearing people. There's like an unidentified ship, with all its like sensors off, and like clearly there's trouble on the bridge. They are a bit worried. The gunners rush in from their staterooms, come in, they sit down. So and then you don't know what's happening on the bridge because there's a door that shuts everything off. But clearly, something is up.
Would Val do anything
Alarms go off.
Like start a combat?
I will be able to say I have nothing up right now, so I can't affect any change into the game or anything. I got this far.
Yes. I will just say that if you want to get into a combat before whatever happens, you'll just have to let me know. Yeah. Back to you all. The captain says, you can hear the call go out. The call goes out from the ship, the Florian Answer. This is the captain of the Florian Answer to the floating palace control. We have a ship coming in hot, stealth, claiming some sort of Lord Admiral Rax has been deposed from his duties and is ordering us to stand down. Can we get some sort of confirmation that this is official? If you could, please, we need some sort of confirmation of this.
Can we get camera perspective on them? Who's on sensors? Terrica, can we get a camera on their reaction when they tell them?
Terrica will be like, no.
Damn it.
But I wish.
Yes, good, me too.
Round 3, pardon me. What do you do, dear pilot?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep getting closer because there's not showing any indication of slowing down or stopping.
They're not. No, they're not.
I'm gonna do the full 6, and if we get hit with something, this wasn't my plan. So.
Okay.
All right.
Just take
the 5 is fine.
Okay. Well, I already moved, so I'll move it back. Boop.
Yep. And they take their full 3.
There you go.
1, 2, 3, as they get closer and closer to that jump point. I need to make one roll. Pardon me. because their engineer in that last go round tried to overclock their maneuver drive so they could get
Oh.
so
There
they could
it
get a little
is.
bit faster because they were a
Well
little bit
practiced
worried
in that.
about what was going on there. Do you know what I mean? They're like,
Now, if
we
they
don't
fuck
know
it
what
up,
this is.
then that makes our jump real easy.
It does. That is
Yeah.
that is correct.
That is true.
That is true. But they don't know what's going on. They're very concerned about what they're seeing as like a very aggressive ship coming in a way that they don't like. You know what I mean? Like it's worrisome. Okay, well, it's a difficulty of a 10. They've got to. Okay, they succeed at this, which means they get one more movement. I'll just take you back one. Weapons?
No.
Okay. They
Yes.
also don't fire on you all, just to be certain.
We're not trying to
Actions.
shoot them.
They don't
Do I s-
know.
Do I store my points? Or do I have
Yes,
to
you
redo
do.
it every
You
keep
have
them.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they're there for as long as this sequence is going on.
Sick. Okay.
And
So
by the way,
in
you can also use those to reduce the other side's rolls.
Sick.
in action, can we send a message?
Yes.
Excellent. In that case, Terrica will flip the comms on and they will say, this is Terrica Elaine Lee Reppenhausen on the flagship Gambler. We are, as expected, attempting to stop the... Wait, remind me what the name of this other ship was. The Sitting Duck? Was that the name?
The Florian
No.
the Florian Answer.
The Florian
Florian
Answer.
The Sitting Duck
we
was
are...
the ship that they had just attacked last.
Was our simulation ship.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. So then they'll say, we are attempting to stop the Florian Answer in order to... wait, what would they say? We're attempting to stop the Florian Answer to discuss the next steps with them. No aid is necessary at this time. But please do confirm for them that we are authorized.
Now this is a bit tricky because you're not actually authorized to make this maneuver. I am going to need a roll from you.
We have
because you
Drax's
did not-
badge. Technically, we are.
I'll give you a
Yes,
+1.
but you are not authorized to stop the transfer of prisoners. You had no conversation about that. That
No,
said,
but it might
the
be
people-
worth stopping them to let them know that Rax is no longer in power. So,
But the person who's on comms at the docks doesn't know some of these things. So I need a roll from you. I'm going to need a leadership roll from Terrica.
Leadership and not diplomacy?
Yeah, diplomacy?
'Cause
Diplomacy is
I was
for
aiming for
nobles.
diplomacy. Oh.
They are. Everyone's a noble on Drinax. Aha!
Well, that's actually no, you're correct. That is true. That is true. If this were not Drinax, I would say no because that is the case. However, you are correct. Everybody on Drinax is a noble, which does mean that diplomacy would work.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
You get a +1.
Because this is high society with nobles. Normally, leadership, which is the skill for directing, inspiring, or rallying, would be the way to go. But you are correct. Everybody on Drinax is a noble. So, yes.
The
Diplomacy
technical
works.
accuracy.
Mhm.
Yay.
It's true.
Did you say I get a
Courtly
plus?
graces is more important than your official documents.
This is true. This is true.
And your
This is fair.
inspirational speech.
Yes.
Did you say I,
I
get
could
a
hear
plus
their
one
bow from
your
here.
leadership?
It was quite a flourish. I believe we should let them go.
Yes. Yes. A +1 from Severence. But I
Yeah,
need to know how
+1.
Severence
Can
does
I
it.
do more +1s than or
Only
just
one
the
per
one
roll.
or +1 per? Okay. So yeah, you say all that stuff, and as I guess you're sort of looking over towards me, I give you one of these.
Oh.
That's a good goal.
You'll just see that moment kind of like hit Terrica like in the chest a little bit, and then they'll recompose. It'll just be that sort of like,
thinking.
Whew.
Absolutely.
Hello.
You hear a voice on the other end from the starport. Remember, you only have like 6 docks, and none of them are particularly big, so you can't get really big trading ships in because it's just a floating palace. It was mostly made for smaller ships.
It's just a floating palace.
It was
Yeah,
a diplomacy place. It wasn't
Yeah,
supposed
basically,
to-
right?
Yeah.
No, like you had Drinax had a whole high port that was huge and massive. and
Right,
took all sorts-
right. And this is just like a castle.
Yeah, it's a castle, right? And you're like, oh,
that's it. I mean, as cool as it sounds, it's only a castle.
it's
It
that's
could be a
It's only
space station, but
castle.
it's not. Right.
It's not a space station. It's just a castle. It's really sad.
Oof.
And you hear on the other end, the person on the line says, "Oh, Liege Terrica, yes, we will. I will make sure to sort of put out. What exactly were you saying that? What is happening? I will note you recognize this voice.
Who is
Uh-oh,
it?
that's not what we wanted to hear.
This is
Classic
a
trooper.
friend of the princess's from when you were younger.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
This person
okay.
was not working the docks the last time you were here,
Mhm.
and also not when you arrived 3 days ago. They are now working the docks.
Is this
at
the
this
voice of the
moment.
person who, when we left, cleared us to depart without any concern? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
This person, by the way, is not the person who was running the docks just like a few hours ago.
There's been a power shift within Drinax. What can I say?
There
Very
might have
quickly.
been.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or the spy
so-
master is putting her friends in wacky places to make sure things happen.
Could also be that. Could also be that the
But
spy
maybe not.
master, you know. And you say, oh, release Terrica. What exactly is the directive?
We just need to have a conversation with them.
Yes.
They're running
we
away.
will-
Before they jump, we need to have a conversation.
yes, we will send off that message.
Thank you. Good to hear your voice.
Yes. It's.
Nice.
I've not yet seen you, but I expect I'll see you at the investiture.
It will be good to see you. It's been a very hectic few days.
It's years. I have to go and
Yes,
send
of
in the
course.
message
Thank
to
you.
the palace. Yes. And Val, are you back? Because if you're back, I need to talk to you. If you're available. Because his no mic yet.
No mic.
All right.
This could be
Well,
a good time
it's
to
okay.
go on break.
That's true.
We're going to go on break right now. We're going to go on break. And as we go on break, I just want you to know they're still running because they haven't heard the word back yet. And when we get back, we will find out what happens next. There may be murder or
Yay.
not. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Everyone. Everyone, we are back. Hello and welcome back to the second half of The Gamblers. I don't even know what the name of this episode is going to be just yet, but we will find out. Our dear Greg is still having some problems with the computer. He had to switch computers and everything. And I will note that it's entirely possible that when you arrive on that ship, that everyone will be dead.
We'll
I
be dead.
don't know.
Perfect. It's because
That's-
we shot out their life support.
Or there's a massacre going on the ship as we speak, this very moment. That is
Oh,
Calling it now. It was
no.
Val doing the massacring.
could
Everybody's
be,
on fire.
could be.
Absolutely. That's what we're hoping for.
Everyone
right?
is on fire.
Val being a murderer versus Val being murdered. That's our plan, right?
Who's going to out-murder the other? Come on.
Let's go to round 4, shall we? This is our space combat, but with no combat just yet. At least
Our space standoff.
Our space initiative.
Our space initiative.
Initiative, if
it's
you
a-
will.
It's a race, you guys.
Our
We're space
Drinaxian
racers.
standoff.
it is a race. You all get to go
Drinaxian
first.
standoff.
It's true. You all get to go first for maneuvering.
I'm gonna move full speed.
Okay.
So I'll move
Take
3.
your move 3 because they're still moving forward. They would like to overclock, but
Oh, wait,
it
no,
gets
it's this
more and
way.
more difficult, and they do not want to ruin.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They
Over
don't
here.
want to. 1, 2, 3. There you go. You're up at
Yeah.
2, I believe. Yeah,
One,
there you go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
2. Yeah.
This-
There it is. Yep.
It took a second. I kept clicking the wrong thing.
Can the children see the map? The little
no.
ones. The little ones would like to see the map.
They can see the map now, I guess. So, if you notice, you are all so close to them, but they are also so close to the jump line. Just asking, anybody want to attack any ships?
You're making it sound so. But they have a movement of 3, so in 2 rounds they'll be at the jump point,
Yes.
and we won't beat them there, can we? Yes, we will.
Well,
In
hold
2
on.
rounds we
1,
can
2,
get.
3. 1, 2, 3. No, they need 3 rounds.
Need 3 rounds.
They need 3 rounds.
And we just
Yeah,
need
they
2
3
rounds,
And
right?
we need 2 rounds to get to psychic range.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 round.
So we get to psychic. You get to
Well,
psychic range in 1
2.
round.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2. You need 2. They need 3.
That's what I
You've
thought.
got
Yeah,
them
because
by-
we have
by
to.
the
We
round.
hang back 3 as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
All
right.
right. Well, that's
Because you're
Fine.
a much faster ship than they are.
right. I'm not worried, right? Everyone.
Now that we've talked it through, my understanding right now, as we've discussed
While we're
this,
here talking about it.
while we're discussing this, so there's always, I think, the possibility that they could overclock their engines again. But
Yes.
so
Okay. That would
far
give
they
them
haven't.
1. That would give them
One?
just one extra, and I think they'd need more than that. And every
Okay.
single time they do it, they're at a -2. You remember that. You tried that earlier. And
Oh, I remember that.
you remember. It's a cumulative -2 every single time you try it. And it's already a difficulty 10. That's not easy to get, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if they mess up, then their maneuver drive craps out on them.
And since they think
Yeah.
they're staring down pirates, that is a real bad. That's like
Yes.
real
That would be
bad
really
on bad on
bad.
bad on bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a vested interest in not overclocking their drive, and it will take them 3 turns to hit the
Yeah.
jump space, and it'll take
Yep.
us 2 turns to hit
Yep.
the jump space.
Them. No, to hit
And
them.
to hit them. Oh,
Yeah.
so then we'll be 2 turns to be in psychic range. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm worried
Mhm.
about this.
Mm-hmm. Unless they try to jump early. But if they
But
try
if
to
you-
jump early, that's really dangerous.
Yeah, and you can't they must have heard the announcement going out from the ship, and then or did they not hear that communication?
Well, they haven't gotten the comeback yet. Like, they're waiting to hear some
Okay.
kind of confirmation. They've heard you send something out, but they haven't decided yet. They haven't heard confirmation yet from the palace saying that this is all legit,
Mm,
which will
mhm.
happen this turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they're not
so
taking
they're-
chances, because you're scary. You're like a very scary ship. You have big weapons, and they're a little nervous about what's going on here. They don't know. They don't know.
I think that's fair. We did some sketchy stuff at the beginning of this. By we, I mean Terrica ordered some sketchy stuff at the beginning of this.
Yeah. So I take it you're not going to attack them? I'm just asking.
Well, Terrica is not going to, or
All right.
issue any orders to do that.
Nope. All right. They do not fire on you because they do not want to antagonize anything, but it's now the action phase.
You don't have a visual on us yet, right?
No, they do. They have visual
They
on you.
do have a visual. So they could see our guns.
Yes, they can.
Okay,
Also,
so that's
your
probably why
guns-
they're not firing.
Also,
your
they
guns
can
are
see
also
that we're the
hot.
gambler.
Do they know your ship?
Do they know a Harrier class?
Yeah, but those are scary. But
Right.
they are from they're based. This is an Asim based crew, right? And
Oh.
they have,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh.
This is an Asim based crew. You have been flying for like
They're a seaman.
158. They're a seaman for about like 158 days or so. They have not, and you've been away the entire time.
We had a
They have
sus
not
opener
met you.
too.
And you had a sus
You what,
opener.
huh?
And they don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know you. They have heard, right? But they don't know if you're, like they don't know what's what. They're waiting for confirmation. And while they're waiting, they're going to try to keep away from you because
That makes sense.
they don't know. Because
Stay
your
back,
guns
stay
are
back,
hot.
stay back. Don't do anything.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah,
back,
yeah.
stay back.
Yeah,
I don't trust you. Stay back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't
get it.
Right. They're also somewhat alarmed by how fast you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Stay back? How the hell? Stay back? What the shit?
Yeah. They're a thrust 3 ship, and thrust 3 is pretty fast. They're like, oh, look at us, we're so fast, right? But
Not two times as fast, bitches.
yeah, they're worried. So what would you all like to do since you all get to go before they do?
I would like to demand them to stop, because it says it. I can do that. Demand a surrender. Would love to.
Please do.
I'm gonna say
you will get a boon on this because of the communications I've been going through.
Cool. Right. That makes sense. Thank you, Terrica.
Nice. Anytime.
Max asked if 6 is the highest. No, it's not. You can. There are ships with 9. There are some very fast ships out there.
Let's get a 9. Let's get a 9, you guys.
The 9 ships don't have jump drives though.
Oh, never mind.
They're the system defense boats. Like if somebody says they're pirates, they pull out their ships if the planet has that. They're ships with like lots of guns and a 9 maneuver drive, no jump drive, and they just zoom out to try to save whoever is being attacked with guns. You know.
This is the Corsair Drinaxian Admiral Baron Severence demanding you to halt in the name of the gambler and Drinax and King Olub himself.
Can I get your roll, please?
Yes.
You may.
Please.
Would you like a leadership? Or would you
yes,
like
I would.
another one that I have, which is
Or
better?
intimidate.
Which is
Which is
intimidate.
persuade. So like persuade
Okay,
is
persuade.
intimidate. So it depends on what where you're going.
Persuade.
Like
I think I
your
tried
vibe.
leadership before. Now it's like, you better fucking stop. They can also see our ship. So I think, I'm gonna use persuade. I'm gonna use social. Yeah, social.
Yes. Yep.
And you're giving me a boon.
Because of the comms that have gone back and forth and they've heard them. So they've heard this.
I give myself a +1.
You cannot. Because
that makes sense.
Is when you help other people.
Yeah. I get it. What did I roll?
If you're persuading, it's
12.
a little bit less friendly, you know?
Huh?
If you want.
I will add 2 luck onto that, which is the rest of my luck. So that'll be 14.
Okay. Before we finish, is anybody else doing anything on your ship? Terrica?
We're not within psychic range yet. And the accents that they heard of the guys that are on the bridge of the other ship are a seam. So I don't. A seaman. My bad. A seaman. So I don't think Terrica is.
A seaman and a seam of women.
Jam comms or anything like that. They want them to be able to get the message back from Drinax saying that they're fine and to stop and please have a conversation with this crew.
Sea people.
So that's it's their turn.
Not just the seamen, but the women in the sea, women in the sea children too.
That's right. You need the sea
A sea
children.
woman?
Like, there's like
Yeah,
sea monkeys. Do you remember that?
Right.
Ooh, sea kids?
Sea kids?
Spy kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Spy Kids. I don't know
Yep.
if you ever saw old comic books. They would sell like the mail order of the sea monkeys, and then they always had like the
Yeah.
little from back the comic books. They didn't look like that actually. They didn't
Oh.
look like little people. There was a lie.
There he is.
I know.
Sea monkey himself.
Yeah.
Greg's here.
Oh, good. And I think at that moment,
I don't know if Greg's here. He just agreed about sea monkeys, and that was it. So I don't
yes, the captain says,
know. There he is.
I do want to hear confirmation back from the floating palace first.
Yes,
You said
we
you're-
could, of course, wait. We could wait for that to happen, but you should definitely shut your engines off. And come to a halt. And then shut your engines
Well,
off.
we aren't going to shut our engines off, but we will. If you don't move forward, we won't move forward.
We have all the space we need right here.
So is that agreed?
Yes,
All right. We'll
it's only until
we have to wait for the confirmation, and then we can move in.
I understand. I'm just a little anxious.
We'll wait till we get back confirmation from the floating palace. Admiral. And they have finished their turns, their actions. It's now the floating palace's action. And you hear a broadcast. This is Lord Abelard von Adler, current harbor master for the floating palace. We are confirming that the Gambler is the flagship of the Royal Drinaxian Expeditionary Force, and that the Admiral Severence is the duly appointed representative, and if he has given you orders, you should comply. This is Lord Abelard von Adler, Harbor Master of the Floating Palace, confirming the identity of the Harrier class, the TMSS Gambler. I hope that helps you, Admiral.
And now we approach.
And I need to actually keep track of how many turns this is, because if there's a massacre going on over on this ship,
We would be starting our 5th turn, I believe.
Yes,
Yes.
this is now the 5th turn. I just need to know exactly how
My
much
fourth
time.
action was all that, right?
Yes. The ship stands, waits. They still have all their power on, just in case you decide to start shooting at them.
Whatever.
Just in case. They don't know.
Okay.
Right? But they wait.
Whatever.
If you wish, you can. They're not going to go anywhere. You can, in this one next turn, get into close range. Well, right up on them.
Yeah, right upon them.
Pilot, you fly up, and you are now adjacent. You are just like neck and neck with them, and they
so
have
close.
not. You're so close, and they have not moved. Nothing's shut down, just in case they don't know what's going on, and they don't know what you're doing. Right? They're not quite certain what your plan is, and they're just.
They're not the only ones.
They're just a few kilometers away from the jump point, and they could try an early jump just in case if you decide to start shooting at them or something. You can tell things are a little bit tense. What do you do?
We're in psychic range now, right?
Mm-hmm.
then Terrica is going to try and ping Val. Didn't Severance already get a connection with Val though? Like, I don't want to jump
Visual.
over that.
I had like a psionic visual, like, oh, he's over here. Help! I feel him. I feel him. He's in the distance. The force is telling me he's here, and that was it.
Premonition.
It was. Yeah.
It was basically using what do you call it? Remote viewing. Is what it was. So at this point, I need to find out what I'm gonna just message Greg to find out if in the last
Is the Camlin Viper on in our little
It's
hangy
attached.
thing?
attached.
We could just now we could just do that this whole time. All right, that's great. That would be
Well,
hilarious.
the Camel Viper wouldn't have been able to catch them, I don't think.
Well, the Camel Viper might be able to catch them, but they couldn't jump out.
We couldn't jump. So
Yeah,
we
that's
would
right.
have
But now that
lost time.
we're like, we could have been like, oh, we'll just stay here, and then let this little thing go. But that would
it would have been a lot smarter. But then the only way on the ship would have been to cut through their hull.
Yep.
Which would have been real bad for us to do.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And it would have been
about
a Camlin Viper versus the Gambler.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love
just
that.
asking.
That caveat is awesome. You can use it. It just burrows into ships. So you need to.
It does.
The only
Real
docking.
good for it can go in and out of atmosphere though, so you can go on planets sneakily.
The only docking it has is its teeth.
Landing gear.
Is its weird.
There's just no,
Yes.
air tunnel.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Hey!
Greg, we're at the moment where we need you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need
I'm
you.
appropriately pissed off, so let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring us back over to you at the moment. And I need to make sure I've got my timer ready, just in case. So, you're there, and alarms go off. And you can, there's some sort of like hullabaloo. But there is a door that shuts off the bridge to this area, obviously. And as you're there, one of the Star Guard sort of gets up and goes over to the door. The door opens. There's a sort of quick conversation. And the guards come back out. The guard comes back out and speaks to the captain. And I'm going to turn on our timer. And the captain, let me give you the full captain though, the full timer. I don't want to steal your time. There we go. Oh, wait. Boom. There we go. So the captain says, I'm afraid there's some sort of disturbance. We're going to have to take both of you and lock you back up into your quarters. Up. And they've got, they're in like pretty, like they've got full combat armor, but they're not wearing it because you do not want to wear combat armor on a ship because everything is so tight. But they're like wearing pretty good, like decent, like a good, like an armored vac suit. And they've got like laser rifles and cutlasses. And they sort of come like, all right, we're going to have to lock you all in your rooms. If you would.
Val stands up.
Ruby.
I assume this is moments after the last question we had, right? We're kind of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I haven't been hearing anything. I don't know what's going on, much like that.
No, because you wouldn't know because you're in this break room. You just know that the alarms have gone off and something is not okay. Something is not okay. People are a little bit stressed out. And the the overclock was on turn 2 or 3, I think. And so the guards, like, they sort of bring their weapons around. They're not pointing them at you, but they're holding them. And they sort of, you stand up, so that seems nice. And we're going to lock you back in your staterooms. Ruby doesn't stand up right away. He kind of just sits there a little bit. Like he doesn't feel like getting up because why should he?
Then Val would say, "Oh, are you hungry now?"
He goes, I want to know what's going on. Somebody's better tell me what's happening. And the captain just turns to him and says, you're not authorized to know. Get up. Come on, get up. And he sort of sits there for a moment. contemplating if he wants to actually move or not, because he doesn't like to be told what to do. You know what I mean? He likes to tell people what to do. He doesn't like to be told what to do.
Ruby, you should
And
really
he-
try that. It tastes good. Tastes a little bit like rabbit.
Max, this is the captain of the guard. So he takes a bite of the sort of oatmeal, takes a bite of the bacon as the alarm is still going off. And the captain of the guard is looking a little bit frustrated at this guy clearly instigating.
Well, see, that's
And-
what I would like to do. Is that a roll
please.
that I can make?
What kind of instigation would you like?
Oh, I don't know. The kind that makes you question your life choices. Whatever that. What's that skill?
What are you aiming for? 'Cause it's probably persuasion.
I want a violent response.
This would be persuasion.
What would you like me to use for it? Social? Since I guess that's
Yes,
probably
please.
what it is.
Absolutely.
Average 8. Boon or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
That you know of.
Success.
Please give it to me.
Ruby, you should really. Do you taste the notes of that in there? The notes of being overcome? The notes of losing power? The notes of irritation?
I'm going to need a roll from you. I'm going to need intellect, and I'm going to need probably, I would say, deception.
Oh, okay. So I do this deception intellect. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. You're not lying. You're trying to suss him out. You know what I mean?
Sure. That's another 10.
So, he looks completely unbothered by anything you have to say. He looks pretty, what's the word? Unthreatening. He looks just like a regular citizen who has never done any violence ever. And he seems like he's just hanging out. Now, please note, that's what he looks like to everybody else in this room. That's not what he looks like to you. And as the guard, the captain of the guard, is stepping forward to him to get him to stand up, with him looking so...
Can I add a little zinger in here?
I will let you know, you have succeeded in taunting him.
Right.
By
So
the
I'm,
way.
I'm wondering if I can just get a little color, like a little
Oh, yeah.
like a okay.
Oh, yeah.
Coup de, okay. Again, now again, this is I'm forcing the issue here. Is there any way I can like telepathically taunt him?
That would be a second check. And what are your telepathic powers, by the way?
I've got everything but like teleport, I think. Telepathy, clairvoyance, telekinesis, awareness. It says I have teleportation, but I don't think I'm supposed to have that.
It's the new sheet. You have to be trained. If you're not trained in it, then you don't have it.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
so
it's
you know.
-2, so.
Yeah, no. I want them to fix that, but that's a different matter altogether. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So here's the thing you need to
Gotcha.
know. There are things you can do psionically that will do things, but this round you're just normally taunting. You can telepathy sends feelings to people, which, is nice. Suggestion implants thoughts, ideas, or commands in people's minds. Those are things that you could do. You know what I mean? Like, you have a number of options to make things, to mess with him, is what I'm going to say. But I will also tell you from that deception, as the guard is stepping forward, the captain of the guard is stepping forward, because you succeeded both times. He is laying a trap. And now I need initiative.
Sure.
Yep. I'm going to need some initiative right about now because he is...
I thought that was on combat, but it apparently is not.
Is
Oh,
it
there
not
it
there
is.
anymore? There it
It's
is.
there.
Mm-hmm. And I need 2 dice.
Ooh! What a... what?
Average.
That's not what that's supposed to be.
You rolled 4 plus... That's a 9 plus 1. What is that minus 8? That
don't know
minus
what a
8 makes no
minus-
sense at all.
Right, I don't
You rolled a
get that.
10. So you got a... But you made it by 2. That's what it is. I know exactly what it is. That's your initiative number. It's a 2.
Okay.
Because
take
that's
a
how
word
much
for
you
it.
made the roll by. So you're a 2. He is a 7. He goes first. He made it by 7. You made it by 2. The guards, on the other hand, let me just get their initiative since I have them right here. Hello, initiative. Where are you? There you are. They're at a minus 2. They don't get to go first. First round of combat. You see it happening, like in slow motion. And the first thing that happens is that Ruby grabs at the rapier of the captain who's coming in to sort of like grab him by the shoulder, and he's like coming in to like to attack this guy and get what he wants from him, and that's going to be really great for him. But this guy is surprised, so that's not going to be the best. That's okay though. I think it'll be fine. And he's
Fingers
also
crossed he kills him.
Yeah, he's also very good at that sort of a thing, I'm afraid. So, let me go and roll his grappling, and he is at a +5. Didn't roll that well, I'm afraid. He only made his success by 1. And the Star Guard, on the other hand, is also going to roll. This may not work out well for him, actually. This may be bad. Hello, melee. -1 to that. Yeah, so he rolled a 6. So Ruby jumps up and pulls this rapier out of the scabbard of this guard. What would you like to do?
I would like to take this opportunity to do one of those psionic things we were talking about.
Please do. What would you like?
I'm trying to figure out what all I have here to do. I know that I have, with telepathy, it is, yeah, I'd like to assault him if that's possible.
So, why don't you tell people what that is?
Assaulting, according to the rule book, is violence may be dealt by a telepath
Yeah.
against an unshielded mind.
Yes.
The result is an automatic unconsciousness and possible death.
That is correct. But you need to roll a 14,
Right.
if you would.
Absolutely. So that is under telepathy.
It's telepathy.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to note, though, that he's pulled out this rapier, and you know this rapier. It's the one that Lord Rax gave to the guard for you. And this is exceptionally sharp. And you see Ruby sort of like, as the guard comes down to sort of grabs him on the shoulder, he sort of moves around fluid still. Ruby is got really rough, strong hands with an amazing grip. And he's older, but he still has got that strength to him. And as he moves and he pulls out this rapier, he's also quick like he was when you were younger. Maybe a little bit slower, but not much. And he is still able to do quite a lot of violence. And you can see that sort of murderous look in his eyes. And he sort of positions himself behind the captain so that if anybody else wants to start shooting, they're going to hit the captain first, not him. And you see him look at you. And in his eyes, you can see hatred. And you can see he has been putting up with you for years, letting you live for years so he could embezzle all of your money and inheritance, really.
Right.
But
is his mind shielded?
Make the roll.
Because technically, I don't have to if he's not
You
shielded.
do. You do have to,
just for
right?
damage, right? Because he.
No. You just have to make the roll. If you make the roll.
Okay.
He has no defense.
Do I have like a
no
boon
defense.
because he's irritated or anything? Okay.
You have to make the
looking
roll.
for
But
anything I
if you
got.
make the roll, he doesn't get to defend, right? If he were psionic, he would get to defend. Okay. You made it by 8. You need 6 more. How much luck do you have?
As luck would have it, I have 6.
Do you have any more?
Any more luck after that? Let me double check. I know where's luck again on the new sheet.
It's on the prime below, like it's a little bit lower. So you've got the
6 is all I have.
Okay. That's all you. Well, if you had more, that would be better. But 6 is enough. You need to make the roll in order to sort of successfully do this. Could you roll 1d6?
Just straight up 1d6.
Mm-hmm. 2. How many psi points do you have?
In total 10, but this is going to cost 8 when it's done.
It is. That is correct. So, if Ruby is psionic, you will start engaging in a psionic duel. Describe to me how you reach out to his mind. How do you assault him?
Let me just say this. Of all the things that he learned from the Harlock always moved in minds with grace and fluidity and a dexterity that was just, just a dancer moving in and out of minds. Not, unless she made you aware, you weren't aware she was even there.
Yes, that's right.
Val does the exact opposite of that. Val breaks down the fucking double doors of Ruby's mind like he is coming into an Old West saloon.
Yeah. There is no shield. Ruby has no shield. He is not psionic. And when you go to push through, there is no resistance. It's the flimsiest Old West doors, right? You know what I mean? Like it's... And as you burst through, it's like there's it's like a saloon, but there's all that cigar smoke, and you see Ruby, and he's sitting behind this table, and he's wearing like a red and black brocade vest with like the sleeve garters, and he's got this big heavy cigar, and his hair, he looks young again, right? In his mind, he looks young, and his hair is slicked back, and he has got these women that are like, they work at the saloon, let's say. None of them are your mother. And they're just sort of draped around him. And he's got this like pot of like gold poker chips and like a really fat turkey that's like dripping oil. And it's like, it looks like something extravagant and decadent, but nothing is extravagant and decadent like the royal palace. Do you know what I mean? It's like what his idea of like extravagant and elegant and decadent would be. And it's just like so much like there's meat, and he's holding like this chunk of meat in his hands. He's got this cigar, and there's all of this like cigar smoke everywhere. And there are these sort of women everywhere. And he's there, and he kind of looks up at you, kind of shocked to see you. What does Val look like?
Val looks like he does right now. He's not exaggerating his appearance, but he is bare-chested, and all of his scars are on full display. All of the history of violence, the nights where Ruby couldn't take it out on anybody else, but he needed to have that outlet, and so he carved. And Val kicks open that door, and for a minute there's light behind him, almost silhouetting him as he steps in. And as the light kind of contrasts back and he's revealed in there, he looks across and says, "Ah, Dad, what a good place for you to die."
And Ruby starts to stand up from the table, right? Like it's an instinctual thing. He starts to stand up to like come
Val
at you. Do you know what I mean?
Val grabs one of the chairs and throws it at his chest.
And the chair flies across the room, and it hits him. And it hits him in the chest, but the chair like tumbles, it hits him in the head, and there's like this blood spatter that hits his nose, right? And he falls on the ground in the middle of this saloon.
Val starts to slowly walk towards him, and he's
in the
not
real
taking
world,
a direct. Oh,
he falls. Like in the real world, he falls. Right now, you're in this sort of psionic space, right? But what everybody else sees is this older man who's much less burly and strong, who just sort of grabs his chest and drops to the floor. Go on.
Val walks not in a straight line, but in what a predator would use. He sees the prey go down, but he's not sure if there's any fight left in it. So he takes kind of a looping move to his left and to Ruby's right. His dominant hand he heads towards. And as he moves across the floor, as he dances, dragging his feet just a little bit like they do in Drinax, as a confrontational dance, a enough pomp in it to nullify all of this grandiose shit his dad thinks is proper. He makes him understand what is truly proper, and he turns this space, if he can, into the kitchen where his mom died.
So, as you approach him now in your kitchen, he's unconscious. He's out. He's alive, though.
He's not out in here, is he?
Oh, he's out. You knocked him out.
Oh, I
He's
want
on
him
the
awake
ground.
in the psychic world.
He's like, he's breathing, and he's like sort of senseless. Do you know what I mean? Like he's a bit like, he looks out. You could probably slap him to wake him up, but he's not. He's got like, there'd be like birds. Do you know what I mean? Like circling above his head, like in that kind of a.
Then he walks up to
way.
the table, grabs the stein of beer that he has, pulls him up by his his collar and just dumps it over top of his head. And he gets close. Wake up, old man.
And he wakes up, and you can see he reaches out to grab you, to kill you, to rip you to pieces. But he can't touch you. He doesn't have psionic powers. He reaches out, but his fingers just slide right through you. He can't, you have your grip on him, but he can't even touch you. And you can see this is enraging him, and he balls up his fists and he starts to swing at you, and nothing connects at all.
Val leans forward, almost inviting the shot. And as the hand passes through his jaw, he gets right up to his face and says, "Now you know how we felt." And he headbutts him to knock him back down to his ass.
And he picks up, like he just reaches out and he grabs a knife, one of the knives that was there, and he takes it and he jams it, and it just goes through you. He can't touch you. And he's kind of frothing a little bit. And he's saying something, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's not you, it's him, right? Like it's almost feral, right? And there's just like, you almost hear your name. You almost hear almost words. And he just jams this knife in your gut. And it doesn't do anything.
Val presents his chest to him. "Come on, old man. Come on, old man."
Ah! And he just stabs at you. And as he, like, this is the biggest blow. And he comes to stab it, and he just falls through you on his face in the midst of this mess, flat on his belly.
He looks down at him. "My turn, old man." And he grabs him off of his kitchen floor and lifts him up over his head. Every night. And he can't, at this point, Val is so spun up, he's got nothing but emotion in him. Emotion that doesn't have words associated with it. And so much like the frothing and the animalistic sounds that are coming out of Ruby, they begin to come out of his son as well. And he takes him on a trip around this kitchen, and he slams him against the counter. "This is where you hit her. This is where she first fell. But this wasn't it, was it? This wasn't it for you." And he picks him back up, and he slams him against the wall. "This is where you screamed, 'Watch!' And he takes him and he slams his head against the ground. "And this is where she fell." And he rolls him over and he puts his fucking boot on his throat.
I need a roll from you.
Yeah.
I need that telepathy roll.
Again?
Yes, please.
9.
I'm going to ask you a question. How much do you want to hurt him right now?
To the brink. Physically,
How much?
if I could physically in the real world, and this is awful, and this is Val and not Greg, sort of, he wants to leave him crippled.
You don't have the
Weak.
psionic power to do this, you know. However, there are ways. Might you power this with your own body?
What does that mean? I give like health or
Yes.
like permanently, or I'm just injured and I can get it back?
Injured. You can get it back, but you have to unravel your body to power this.
Oh, I mean, that's a he would do that without even thinking. That would be if he could put his own blood into the absolute. But he would put as much of his essence into the devastation of his physical form as he could without permanently injuring himself. He doesn't, because that would, not that he wouldn't mind doing that, that would mean Ruby would have succeeded in something. He would have hurt him in a way. So he doesn't want that. So that's the only kind of like guardrail he would give himself.
Endurance do you have?
I have 6.
So 6 will not be enough because you have 2 sonic points left and 6 from your endurance. So would you like to take some off of a second stat?
What can I take it off of? Can I take it off of like endurance, like
Dex
dexterity?
or strength? Dex or strength. You'd have to take all of your endurance and then dex or strength.
I'll take it from strength because dex
How
is
much?
his hands.
Yeah, how much?
How much?
Every
like I told you.
point will damage him times 3 because he is not psionic. Here you are very powerful and he is not.
He's gonna take him. This is like a Stranger Things Vecna move where he wants to just break his physical form while they're in this space, and he has 7 in endurance and 7 in strength.
Okay. How much? How much do you rip into your own body as this man who murdered your mother and made you watch the whole time, telling you what it meant to be a man, and laughing and snarling?
Val wants to simultaneously show him that he is the better man and also that he learned his lessons well.
There is a cost for this, by the way.
How so?
Because you need a 14 for assault, and you rolled a 9, which means there's
But I
5
already
missing.
passed the assault, though.
This is a second assault.
Well, how much damage did I do on the first one, then?
0, because you only made the roll exactly. You knocked him out. The first roll, you made it exactly, so you knocked him out. Unless you'd like to pull this into that one.
Yeah, let's back this up. Let's back this up a little bit, because I was under the impression that once I succeeded in the assault, that I could. What is it?
It's once a turn.
Unshielded mind when assaulted in a when shielded is assaulted. The 2 telepathic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So basically, however much more you over hit that roll, all that extra goes to damage. But you would need more, but you can get more also by unraveling yourself. And there is the hand. There's June, Sue. You.
No, he's not going to do any of that. He's not going to do any of that. No,
Are you sure?
This is Greg's
You're
fault.
Take
he
it from yourself?
No,
You're
I
take
misunderstood.
It from yourself rather from June?
No, I'm not going to take it at all. I misunderstood the power. So I'm going to basically leave it at that point.
Yeah.
There's a lot I wanted to do, but I'm going to let it go.
But
I'm not going to.
I will let you unravel yourself for it.
No, I thought I had something else going on here, so I'm not going to. If it just drops him unconscious, he'll just pop back out of his mind and leave him there. In fact, if he knocks him unconscious, I wouldn't have. If I can retcon it, he wouldn't even reveal himself to him if it just knocks him out.
Yeah, because it knocks him out. But then the better the roll, then you will do damage to him. Since you hit it just exactly, it just knocks him out. But if you make it by 1 more, then you do 3 damage. Make it by 2, then it's 6. By 3, it's 9.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I misunderstood that was my fault. I misunderstood the rule of the game. So, I'll just knock him out, and he doesn't reveal that to. It still makes him look weak a little bit, I guess, but he wouldn't reveal himself to Ruby in his mind either. He wouldn't have gone in there or done any of that stuff.
Because you could.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it at the cost of it. It's too much to barely hurt him, and I'm not going to.
Well, no, I'm just saying I will let you transfer your own essence into damage to him, is what I'm saying to you. But you have to pay for it with your body or Sue.
No, I'm not gonna do either of those. No, it was a misunderstanding, though. I wish I hadn't used those psi points, but that I did do. I made that roll, so I'll just let him drop, and
And you can see that he's bleeding a bit from the nose. You went in there, and you knocked him out completely. He's out. In his mind, he's still groggy. And the guards are sort of shocked by what happens. And they pulls the sword back, right? Grabs him. And there's like, what happened here? And the captain of the guard says, we have to put him in chains. They nod. And one of the Star Guard goes off to get the shackles. And they shackle him. Leg chains, wrist chains, like connected. And they take his sort of unconscious sack heap of a body and they drag him into his stateroom and they throw him in, not particularly nicely. And the door shuts as two of the guards are in there. They come out with the clothes he was wearing, and they put the clothes on the table. And they look at you, and they go, excuse me, sir, you'll have to go into your stateroom.
He just nods and walks in.
And they come in, and they sort of look at you like, are you all right?
I'm fine.
I'm so sorry about that. It looked like attempted murder to me.
I would think so. Of the guard as well.
Yes. And they shut you and they lock you in this room. And your father's in the next room on the other side of the wall. Out. Probably not going to wake up for some time. And about 20 minutes later, the gambler gets in contact, gets close. Can I have the psionic telepathy roll from Terrica?
Absolutely.
Please, telepathy.
Hey. Oh, for telepathy, should I have lowered that difficulty? I mean, because I thought it was
It's actually
less
only
if we're close.
It's not if you're close. If you're both psionic, it's just a 4.
Oh, okay. Okay. So next time when I see that pop up, I'll fix it.
Yeah. If you're doing telepathy with another psionic mind link, just a 4. It's pretty easy to get in contact with other psionic people. What does Terrica see?
In Val's mind?
Mm-hmm. There's a knock on your door, as it were. You have to let them in because of the shield. You have a telepathic shield, so you have to let them in. But there is a knock on your door.
Can I look through the peephole, make sure it's Terrica?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lets them in.
What do they see?
A completely blank black space. just a hint of a breeze.
And I think the first thing that they do is they just like give him a huge hug. And then they're like, when they pull back enough, they're like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Lord Rax wouldn't say where you were.
I screwed it up.
We can fix it.
Fish is off the hook.
I know that you told Rax about the marriage. In fact, everybody does. He said it in front of court. He didn't say that I knew that I was trying to deceive them, though, which is weird. I wonder why he's covering.
He's a good man.
He tries to be. He mostly is. He's just very annoying.
Sometimes that comes with being a good man. Is that you all causing the ruckus?
Yeah. For better or for worse. I wasn't sure you were okay. I wasn't sure that he hadn't lost his mind after he hauled you off like that. He literally just lost his best friend in the entire world. Well, at least that's how they were when I left years ago. But he's been weird and odd since I got back, and then he hauled you off like that. I didn't know you were okay, if you were okay or not.
I'm okay. I provoked him. We had words afterwards, and I explained myself. He's a good man.
Well, he is currently accused of treason, so there's been a lot of ruckus.
I had him.
We can haul him back. It'll be messy. It'll be really messy at this point. But we can.
No.
Val, I'm not letting him go. He killed my entire fucking crew. You said he got off the hook. I don't understand.
I had him. Couldn't do it. I guess I am my mother's son.
That's a good thing, you know.
Not as good as Rax. You guys gonna pick me up?
Gonna try. Him too. Maybe send this ship back to bring the Asim nobles here and have a conversation before we figure out what happens next. At the very least, that buys us 2 weeks, which will be good.
Quick note. If you wait that long, you might lose Kareen.
Oh, back on the planet?
Because she's going to wait 1 month.
That's right. Wait, no, but it's only been 2 weeks. That would have been a week. That would have been 2.5 weeks at that point since we got back to Drinax. Oh, 3.5. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You won't have much. You won't have much time. It'll be tight.
Okay. Well, we'll have 2. Okay. One. Okay. Excellent point.
Yeah.
And one problem at a time.
Yeah, but just because she's waiting 4 weeks. 1 week to go. 1 week to get to Drinax. If it's 2 weeks for the ship to go and bring the nobles back, that means you would have to leave immediately when they come back if you want to catch her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or go
and
while
it's still a bit
they're-
tight because it would still take a week to get to the planet. So.
Right.
So we're looking at
Or-
4
or you go
weeks.
Yeah.
Or we go now. Yeah.
Or we go now. Yeah. I think those are definitely our options. Oof. Okay, wait. So I think Terrica just says, or they had just said that like that they could try and pull him back in, and I think they just look at Val like, "You want me to stop, and I will."
Let him go.
Val,
Asim knows what he's up to. He's too much of a braggart. He's going back in chains, even if he has his people waiting for him on the other end. He's greatly diminished. Let him live with that. He has no money. His power base is fucked. Let him stew in that for a couple years. And then we'll decide if he owes more.
In my book, he does.
Mine too.
So let me stop him.
You already did.
I mean, permanently.
There are worse things for men like him.
Trying to think of a way to get you off this ship and not him off the ship.
I think these guys are going to let me off.
What, just with a pretty please?
Not from me. I think Rax already told him something.
Worth an ask, then. Rao is not going to be happy. All right.
I don't care.
I do. Okay. All right. We'll get you back. He goes for now. 3 years to the day you and I have this conversation again.
3 years to the day.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're okay. I was really worried.
Can I get a piloting check from Quint? Difficulty 6.
Yep.
Ooh, I have a. You know what? I have a.
Before I make
thing.
the roll?
No.
Okay.
It is before. You know.
Oh, well.
Severance. It's fine. Severance could have given Val a +1 leadership, a +1 on that roll for
could've.
leadership,
Oh, yeah.
which would have damaged Ruby. It wouldn't have killed him, but it certainly would have damaged him, because that would have upped that by 1. So that is up to you two if you want that.
I'll do it. But I don't know how I would be able to do that.
You are connected to each other.
Yeah, and you've got that ruckus. He knows there's a ruckus.
Yeah.
He figures it's us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Morale boost.
Oh, that's I was out, but were you watching me? Was that what you pinged me or whatever?
He saw you psionically. He had a remote sensing on, so he could see what was happening in the room.
Okay.
They
That's
weren't
a
out of
good-
range at that point. Yeah.
So would I have,
So-
and that's probably why. Maybe that's why I knew I could see you, is because you were already like actively in a psychic space, and that's why I was like, oh, there he is. He's doing something psychic.
I
I
mean,
don't
makes
know.
sense.
I don't know how I would help him in this case, though.
So I would like to throw out a couple of things before. First,
Yeah.
I want to know if you want to do it, because you have a +1 you can give him, and that +1 will take his
Yeah.
roll from a 14 to a 15. And
Yeah,
that
I do want to do that.
Yeah.
Unless Greg is like, you know what, I'm good with what
It's up to
happened,
Greg.
then yeah.
Just a little hurt. 3 hit points.
Yeah, we're too far past it now, but
Yeah.
we'll keep that in mind for something in the future, though. That's
Yep,
a good
that's
call.
That's super fair. Okay.
Because I was like, oh, that's right. You still have that. You have that bonus.
Yeah.
As Val is talking to Terrica, both of them feel the shudder of a ship docking with another ship, sort of matching airlocks. That was your roll, Quint, to dock, to pair.
I did it successfully.
You did. It was nice.
Terrica will like kiss Val, and then they'll say, provided Val is okay with that.
Val's always okay with that.
Okay, excellent. So they'll like kiss him quickly, and then they'll say, "I'll see you in a minute," and disappear out of mind space.
He knocks on the inside of his door.
There is a brief pause, and the door of the iris whoosh, opens up, and the captain is there. The captain of the guard.
Captain.
Doctor? I have been told that Lord Rax has dropped charges. You're free to go.
Captain, I appreciate everything that you were going to do. And he nods down just slightly, in case anybody else is around. He just nods slightly at the sword on his hip.
Dr. Morrissey, would you return this to Lord Rax?
It would be my honor.
And he hands you this rapier, which is old. It has got some viridian in the hilt. It is fancy. It is an ancestral sword. It's clearly like a sword of office that represents your position, not as a noble, but as an admiral. But it also has Lord Rax's crest on it. So clearly, the Rax family have been the admirals for generations and generations and generations, right? And he hands this over to you, and he says, give this back to Lord Rax, if you would. I'll have to find out what's going on. Apparently, they've had a pickup. And don't worry about that man. He's going to go to trial. I assume you'll be visiting Asim to testify.
We'll see.
I think it'll be important. It'll be a while before the trial happens, of course. But I'm sure it'll be important for you to be there.
Could I make an official statement to you?
Of course. One moment. And he goes and he pulls up like a recorder so that he can record. His office is like his computer.
This is Dr. Valentine Morrissey. I am of sound mind. And I would like to state for the record that the man that calls himself Big Red, Rudy, is the one and same that murdered his former wife, June. He was cleared of the charges on Asim because of a corrupt court. I am old and of age to testify. See justice the Asim way.
Dr. Morrissey, I will take you to the airlock. I'm very sorry.
I'm not. You've got him. Show him a seam justice.
And the captain sort of nods, and the other guards want to escort you, but he does it personally. And he escorts you to the airlock. And who is waiting to pick him up at the airlock?
Terrica is definitely there.
I would think we're all there, or at least I'll be there as well.
Well, I imagine Quint's probably in the
I'm
pilot's
staying in the
chair.
pilot seat.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It would kind of suck if anything happened.
I see how it is. No.
No one was. Also, to be fair,
And Wesley stays in the engineering room.
Those are kind of two important things because
That's what I said.
you're
All of
gonna
us.
get through the airlock and want it closed, and
Yeah.
decouple and stuff. Yeah.
So, as you arrive, there you see Terrica and Severance.
He would walk up. He would actually, on the way there, he would kind of look at the captain and then just kind of shrug his shoulders, almost like a kid, and say, I've always wanted to wear one of these. And he puts the sword belt on and has the sword on his side. It's bigger than a scalpel. And he waits at the airlock, and as the doors open, he returns to his family.
And as Val steps in, he sees them both. And behind them, he sees June, smiling. And
He just
watches.
nods, yeah. In this moment, knowing what he wanted to do for all those years, and knowing that he had the chance, and knowing that he didn't take it, and seeing the face of his mother smiling, and seeing his family waiting for him, and knowing Quint's up in the pilot seat, and thinking of them too whenever he thinks of family, and thinking of the Harlock, and thinking of Wesley, thinking of everybody on this fucking boat, he would cast the first genuine smile he's had since his mom fell. And in that moment, forever how long it lasts, he is happy.
That will be the end of our episode. As I will ask if there are any instructions, Terrica, Severance, if you have any instructions for the Florian answer as they are about to jump back to a seam.
yes. I think the instruction would be to ensure that Ruby is kept under tight guard considering the charges against him. And to and that in the interest of diplomatic relations and acknowledging the importance of the right of law, that they look forward to the results of this trial.
Severance?
Oh, they hit it right on the head, really. I think Severance doesn't quite... he wouldn't add anything, because he's only really here to get Val back. So he's like, yeah, great. Great job. Terrica, this is perfect. Yeah, whatever you got to say to whatever. But Val's here. Good.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
Quint
yeah.
helped and the gambler. The gambler did all the work. You should thank her.
Yeah, right. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Great job. Great job, Terrica.
Appropriately.
Great job,
Thank-
Terrica.
Oh my God. No, thank the gambler.
Mm.
The gambler did
this-
all of the work.
Very good to have you back, Val.
Oh my God.
I think what Val would do too is like he would give a nod to the captain. I'm assuming as like the everything closes up.
Yeah.
And as soon as that closes, his posture would relax, and he would throw an arm around Severance and around Terrica, and he would look at Severance and then look down at his hip and kind of like push his hip up a little bit. You see that? You see that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's Rax's sword.
I'm a real pirate now.
Privateer, Terrica will say, like their head is like nestled like in his shoulders. They're just like privateer.
And he would drop his head on their head and say, "Oh, we've never been privateers." And he would walk with the two of them if they would go. And as they go for the first time
Greaves
with
look
a
at
light
you.
heart, he would, he would even smile at those fucking things. And as he's walking through, he would look around and realize for the first time he is on a spaceship. He is a fucking space pirate. And he has friends that he has never had before. And as he holds them, he would maybe squeeze them a little too hard. And he would say, let's find somewhere fucking fun to go. Severance, Admiral's choice. And then he lets go and splits between them and literally dances down the fucking hallway.
I think Terrica's just like, huh.
Up on the bridge, June sits next to Quint and says,
Like, I'm trying very hard not to scratch the gambler or anything as like things decouple, and I'm like, okay, all right, just gently. There we go.
If Val had left and jumped out, I would have died.
You know, I did not know that, but it is very good to know that now. Thank you for telling me.
I'm glad he came back.
How much?
You know,
Yes, no, it's good we got him back. I don't know what happened, but I do register him as being on board. So, that's good.
Well, you and I should talk later, if you don't mind.
Yes, before you go, could you actually tell me how much salt we have on board? And if we have any sage?
We're almost out of Tabasco sauce, but we do have some
Okay.
salt and some sage.
Okay, yes, I'm going to. Could you just have the thing programmed to dispense some sage for me?
Of
Like a
course.
bundle. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Great.
I'll do that.
Yep.
Doctor's on the ship, and June de-apparates. And that is the end of our show. Cord, will you give us your outro?
Cord left. Cord was out.
I just missed him by 1 minute. I want him to say goodbye. So,
1 minute.
all right, if you would say, who you are and where we can find you next. give some
Hello,
love.
I'm Ari. Oh, of course. I am Ari _Ventures. You can find me here in Seattle at Unexpected Productions. I am in theater sports regularly on the weekends, and I have a new show coming up called Prism, where we explore the different perspectives of a single event. Which I'm very excited for. And another one called The Very Best Sandwich, where we interview people about the very best sandwich in the world, which is run by this guy who is unofficially known as the Sandwich King. He's very, very cool. Anyway, so he didn't give himself that title. We gave it to him. Here we are. Here is my love for tonight. This was so much fun. And there's a couple things within here that just got me. Like Severance's commanding, like, stop this boat right now order and all the force behind it was Cord made such a beautiful RP decision to do that. And I thought that it was fantastic. It helped solve something that started very messy, which was great. And Quint's continuous, like, first off, just being the even keel as like all of this is happening throughout the whole thing, and having the sort of like eye rolls and the sort of like, okay, wait, this is a really bad idea. I'm gonna do it, but I'm letting you know with my body that this is a really bad idea. Like, I just particularly enjoy that. It the color that you're able to put onto the characters is so much fun, Lindy. And I know that the scene got erased, but honestly, Greg, Val like hauling Ruby around the room, and that first line right before he starts to do it, where he says, "My turn, old man," was just, you do these beautiful cinematic moments. And that was just one of many that I've seen throughout the course of the show. Fantastic. And there's a couple of so before the very end of the episode, Trooper, I had the point where Ruby is trying to order the Star Guard around, and they're like, "You're not authorized to know." And I was like, "That's such a good line." But my real love came with June being like, "So I would have died." Like, what?
Maybe you
Anyway.
should have opened with that sooner.
Right? Maybe that would have been useful knowledge to have ahead of time. Anyway,
June is not Ruby. June loves Val.
Right. And June is sweet. June's not saying weird things like you have to punish your kids. So, already a step up. All right, that's it for me, you guys. I'm so sorry I have to run, but you're amazing. The Foxhole, you guys chat like the whole way through the night. Just beautiful, wonderful stuff. It's a delight to see you all, and I'll see you next week.
Let's go to Greg. Yes.
First off, I'd like to apologize. In fact, everybody, just wait. Go to Lindy for a second, and I'm going to bring back what I was working on, so you can all see. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Oh
Lindy.
boy.
Lindy,
Hi.
let's go to you. Hey,
Tis
Lindy,
I.
how are you? Who are you? Where can we find you? Give some love. And I'm very excited about some stuff. Go ahead.
Oh,
I've got to find something to show
I'm
the
glad
chat,
you were
by the way.
excited. Oh, well, hi, 'tis I, Laugh Lovely. Oh, there it is. Oh, man, don't drop it, Greg.
No.
Don't
drop it.
drop it. No, don't. That would make it worse. I'm gonna start with my love for tonight. My love for tonight I like Terrica. Like sit in the captain's chair for a little bit, kind of out of habit, because we did do that for 2 months, basically, of just traveling through with Terrica's captain. And I think that's the most Terrica captained, actually, during all the 2 months of captaining was in this moment in this episode.
Yeah.
More than the entire time Terrica was captain while we were traveling to Drinax. So that was interesting to see. Not being on hardcore drug withdrawals probably helps with that. So I thought that was fun to see for Terrica. For Severance, I liked how he traveled up from the cargo hold of the ship, and then was like, "Get out of my chair!" Like, that was so funny. And then just being like, "Yes, I'm an admiral." When we're totally dark, totally look like pirates, and it's like, yeah, sure you are, buddy. I just loved the misunderstandings. It was worse than like a webcomic or anime trope. It was terrible. It was really bad. This level of misunderstandings had me like, oh no, we made a bunch of bad decisions in a row. Like a series, not a series of unfortunate events, a series of really poor decision making. But we're okay now, and nobody died. So, that's pretty good. I think we could have done much worse. Like weaponed or torpedoed. And my love for Greg is that he fought to get back, despite power outages, despite computer shenanigans. Greg's will to fight, and come back. And of course, as always, his descriptions of things. I really like how Greg describes the scenes and the scenery and things. It just brings me joy, even after all these years. Those are my highlights. As Quint, it was good. Gosh, I can't wait for next week. You can find me online till then at laughlovelindy, Twitch, Bluesky, etc., whatever. I'm on all the social medias. I've claimed the name, and if I haven't claimed it on one, let me know so I can go claim it, I guess. no one's gonna be me except me. And yeah, you can find me, I guess, I'm next on Praxagorth as Mephoриa's channel this Sunday for some Greyhawk shenanigans. On my channel every other Monday for Aliens, because we're back, baby, and I'm so hyped. So not this Monday, but next Monday. Every other Tuesday for Ghost of Saltmarsh, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. But every Wednesday at afternoon, my new Call of Cthulhu campaign, Tracks of Terror. They just had their second episode last session. They're all really starting to get like in the jive and the groove of their characters. It's 6 really lovely players, and they're going to probably have a terrible time next week. No specific spoilers, but shit might hit the theoretical fan, so to speak. And I'm very excited for a little taste of terror on the tracks that they're on. And then here next Friday, of course, for more Traveler. So that's me.
And to my dearest Greg. Greg, who are you? Where can we find you? And give some love, if you would.
Absolutely. I was going to say, first off, I'd like to apologize for being out. My power went out, and then my computer I'd been using would not stay turned on. It just would power up and then shut off, and then power up and then shut off. And
That's
I
so
was like, damn
scary.
it. I know.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mean, I the great problem to have, I had a computer that I was actually getting ready to take over for that one. And so this kind of forced me to do that. Unfortunately, it made me miss the bulk of the episode here. So I didn't
They're
get a
just
chance to
creeping
see
up on
it.
you.
Yeah, I
They're
know,
just
but I didn't get a
creeping up on
chance
you.
to see. I mean, it's tough because these are my favorite RPers, and
Yeah, I
I
know. They're
missed
so
hearing them RP. So I assume everybody was absolutely brilliant, and my love for is just being back. This is my first episode back, and I love being here, and I love being with these people on Fridays. I love being with the Foxhole chat. I love being just. I always say that, you know, this is the end of the week, and I can fucking forget about the week and just be here in the Traveler universe with all of you awesome people, and just don't think about anything else. I'm in Traveler. I get to be a fucking pirate. It's the greatest. Friends, I play Dr. Valentine Val Morrissey. I am Warp Reactor over on YouTube. We just wrapped up. I finished The Expanse. It was fantastic. And we have begun Babylon 5, which I have never
Ooh.
watched before. And I am absolutely loving. I'm through the first like 7 or 8 episodes. So it's continuing with the original series, some fun stuff. So if you want to hang out a little bit, just join us over there. It's fun stuff. So absolutely loved. In a weird way, I wanted violence, and then as soon as we had that thing with the rules, I thought, you know what, Val doesn't need this as much
I mean,
as
he
I
could have
thought.
it.
He could have had it, and I thought Val doesn't. He thought he needed that, but that's not what Val needs, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. It could have gone either way, and I probably would have been happy either way, but I was very happy with how it worked out on this one. So much love to Trooper for always being there and always having my back and being the absolute best RPG tag team partner I've ever had. The only thing I can say about playing with Trooper is this: never once have I felt unsafe. I know I can be as wild and as out there as I want to be, and he will reel me in. And then whenever I'm a little too reserved, he gets as wild and out there as he can be, and we meet each other in the middle, and it is the best feeling ever between a GM and a player. So, buddy, I appreciate you, and I always will. Lindy, I love you because you're my friend. You're my longest TTRPG person I've ever played with, and so it gets me a little choked up. But you're the best, and I am the worst because I was not here for your fucking birthday that I missed.
weren't.
And I feel terrible about that. So what I wanted to do right now is nobody wants to hear Greg sing. But I will say
that's
this.
not true.
I have a birthday wish for you from now until the next birthday that you have. My wish is this, that every time you take the table, every time you roll the dice, every time you gather with friends, that you have a moment that Val had, where in that moment, even if it's 1 second or an hour, you are happy. And my friend, I hope that treats you every time you sit at table. Chat, I will see you next week. And if I have to throw my computer out the window and perform in front of you in your living rooms, I will do that. Good night.
Whew. I have a present for both of you, by the way. I just have a couple things to say, but first I'm going to say we have tips and bits messages from our chat, and I want to read them out first before I tell Greg a thing that I think he should just know. there's a thing, and I just have to say it. These things are important. Let me see. Where did I put? By the way, everybody, there's a person who's a cool streamer and creator who made this really neat video that's sort of like the welcome pack videos that I make for Drinax, and Dawn Wolf, and that is the video that she made, and you should definitely go and watch it because it is super, super cool. And I wanted to make sure that you all saw that because I wanted to give that shout out because it is great in every way. Oh, I put the tips and bits right in front of my face rather than the right, why I couldn't find it. So I would like to say thank you to Hawkeye, who donated 500 bits, who says, "The antagonists are on the hunt for Val. Do they have a plan? Does Val have a plan for Ruby? Does Ruby have a plan for Val?" Thank you. And then we have a $20 tip from Rissa, who's one of our mods, who says, "Will we be rid of Ruby by the end of today's episode? Who knows?" I have to say something about something that Greg said because it's super true in a way that I just have to, yes and. Zanzibar donated $25 and said, "This show has played a relatively substantial part in helping me maintain my sanity this year. I just wanted to give a big thank you." Oh, golly, gee whiz, that is so nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Then we have 42 bits, the meaning of life from Stormbender, who says, "Up late. Cheers." Thank you. And then 100 bits from Stormbender for the whole cast that just came in. And then 100 bits from Willen, who says, "Thanks all for this amazing episode. I won't forget the visual of the saloon scene soon." So, let me say a few things before I say anything else. One, when I said, "Does anybody have any instructions?" I'm going to assume, because you brought it up, you did not forget. Greg, I assume you're going to send a message to your lawyer on a scene. Your banker, your lawyer, to deal with the Ruby embezzling problem, I'm going to assume.
Yeah, my lawyer, Matthew Nerdock, yes, he is going to. Yeah, he's. He can't smell.
He can't smell. He can't smell.
Right.
I'm going to assume that you're going to do that because of what you said about how he won't have any money. He won't have anything. And to make sure that he has no money, you have to claim your inheritance, basically, that you didn't know about until now. Like,
Buddy, that's on my list, on my notepad. It's
so many
get
fraud
your money.
charges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get my money.
Yeah.
The top.
Yeah, I just noticed that you mentioned it, so I was like, you're going to get your money, right? So, I just want to say this. You could have killed him. I was giving you a lot of temptations. I'll let you unravel June. How about that? How much damage do you want to do? I'll let you murderize him. But then you said no. And you said you don't need to do that.
It's when you said June. You said we could do it to myself. I was like, I can do that. And you're like, you can take it from June. I'm like, oh. And then hurting Val would hurt June.
Yeah.
Just the real June, Oh my God, I can't believe my boy hurt himself to hurt. And I was like, I got to pull out of this. I got to pull out of this dive. This is not where Val needs to go.
I did ask more than once, but I will say this.
I appreciate it.
You won't be there for it. But when Ruby is taken off the Florian Answer, he will not be wearing the fine suit that he was wearing when he got on that ship. He'll be wearing much less nice clothing, and he'll be shackled. He will also there'll be a gag around his mouth because he will not be behaving well in that week in jump space that involves a bunch of swearing and threatening people. And do you know who I am? All of that, because he's not doing well now after what happened. You weren't afraid of him. He did not like that. And then there's a bunch of things he did not like about what happened. He lost control of that situation, and he couldn't scare you. And he's going to be let off of that ship, gagged and in shackles in front of everyone. And then he's not going to have any money. So all those bribes that he used to do, he's not going to have that money. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen to him that are going to make him look really sad and pathetic.
He's got how many murder charges now? there's a lot, and now two new attempted murder charges.
Right, but
Yeah.
as soon as there's no money or power backing him, all those people that were in the shadows that he threatened to not tell about the things that he's done.
No, I'm just saying
they're
it's all
come
going to
forward too.
compound
Yeah,
because they're going to come forward. He's got at least like a half dozen or so murder charges, if not more, of actual murder, and then there'll be all the attempted murder charges. Yeah, it's not pretty.
But I think the biggest thing is what Greg said, that there are some things that are worse for death for a man like Ruby.
Yeah.
And it's the I don't want to say humiliation, because that's not really, it's the
embarrassment.
It's the you're nothing, right? It's the realizing that he has no control or power. All of that he had. Yeah.
All those people he thought he was better than, he is now less than. And he knows it.
Yeah. Yeah. And he can try, and when he tries to regain that power through just intimidation and force, it's just not going to work. And it'll make him look even more pathetic. And that is worse than death for him. But perhaps the worst thing for him was when Val wasn't afraid of him. And he's not going to be able to forget that until the trial. And I just want to say thank you for that. And, Quint, you are an amazing pilot. Quint is an amazing pilot and an amazing crew member. And I am very excited to see how this goes. You proved yourself in a very interesting way, and I'm interested to see where this goes next, actually.
Quint's had an awful day. It's been a really bad day for Quint.
And you all,
you're not happy.
You all changed the power dynamic on this planet quite a bit. We'll see how that goes. Yep. And I want
not me. I did a lot of this during that meeting.
You were involved. And I want to give love to Severence for Severance and Terrica have just been on it this week and last week. There's like a real like depth. Their relationship is really growing in a really fascinating way, and I cannot just wait to see how that goes from there. So these are great players. These are really great players, and I will tell you this: you're flying back to the planet. You've got a treasure globe to uncover, some investiture, some partying, some joy, and then you've got some piracy to do. And I'm very excited to see where you go next. And a funeral. Well, actually, there's two funerals. There's
three funerals. There's multiple funerals.
Four funerals and a wedding?
So what you're saying is good times all around.
Well, some people are kind of happy for some of those funerals, so I think it might actually be good times. Not all of them. So yeah, 4 funerals and a wedding, maybe. I have no idea what's gonna happen with some people, but I'm excited to find out, and I'm really excited to see where you all go next as you fly off into the stars. And so I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you for this crew for being amazing. And we will catch you all on the flip side. And next week, merch. Bye, everybody.